And we're live.
What up? I said what up? What's going on, y'all? We got your boy, Wings of Redemption, White Boy, 7th Street, and Eddie the Chump. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, yo? I'm Eddie Late Night the Chump today.
Late Night Chump. What time is it over there?
It's 1 in the morning. This is going to be an X-rated show. So
1 in the morning.
I'm in late night mode.
Oh shit.
Sit on back, fellas, because Eddie's going to tell you how to please your bitch.
Sit on back, relax, and Eddie the Chump will take over.
Okay. I'll tell you how to please a woman. Listen to everything that Jive says about women and do that instead of what I say. There we go.
What if we say the same thing?
Well, I'm just copying you anyway, so.
What's up, y'all?
Hello. We've been streaming. We've been in a call like the last 5 days with each other. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm recording for the second week in a row. Hopefully my mic's not like my static isn't more than my volume. So bear with me. We're figuring this out. I think it's good this week.
Infancy, fellas, infancy.
Infancy.
So yeah, I mean, we just talk about quickly why that is. I normally record the show, but for some reason Skype thinks that... what amazes me is that Microsoft now owns Skype, and now it doesn't work with Windows. So, I mean, this further supports my argument that the 360 was a fluke, and these are the people that made Vista. So nothing surprises me with Microsoft anymore. I bet you aren't my computer blue screens midway through this podcast. I'm just like, I just know they're out there listening. They're listening in like the NSA to this podcast. Oh, there's someone shit talking Microsoft. Let's blue screen his computer. That's going to happen. So no, like, White Boy's recording it this week, but normally it's me. I mean, should we talk about like the streaming together thing and the games we've been playing? Because I don't know about you, but I've always streamed individually, but streaming with people is a whole new thing.
It's weird.
So fun.
I have my push to talk set up because usually I'm playing DayZ and I'm running in a field and I'm talking to my viewers the whole time, but it's hard to do that when we're having a conversation and I don't want to be rude and not talk to you guys, but then I feel rude to the viewers, but I think the viewers like the conversation that we get in.
Yeah. It seems like, cause me, I know I watch Eddie, I watch you guys all the time, and y'all always talking in the chat, and I'm always talking in the chat. But when we were playing together, it seemed like they just had a sixth sense, like, all right, they can't really talk to us because they're talking to each other. I think the viewers like knew that.
I know
because usually when I'm by myself, like when I'm just playing the game by myself, you would look over and you'll see, does this guy ever talk in the chat? Or like I didn't see that at all when we were streaming together.
Yeah, I get that all the time, and I'm like replying to the people. Like I replied to that question in particular, and then her say it again like 5 minutes later.
I hate that. I wish I could punch somebody in their face, like reach through the computer and punch you in the face for saying, does he talk to the chat while I'm fucking playing the game? Like, that annoys me, and I'm like I'm a nice guy, I'm cool as shit, but when you fucking annoy me, like, that gets on my damn nerves.
What's up, homie? You need a friend? Is that why you need me to talk to you?
Yeah, like, what is it? What is it? I'm a boy.
See,
I'm a boy.
I think because, I don't know, I take a little bit of a different attitude with streaming. To me, us streaming together is a totally new experience, like I said, because I'm not used to not looking at the chat, right? I'm not used to not talking to the regular people that are in my chat and answering all the little silly in-jokes they say and all that kind of stuff, because I'm in a conversation with you guys. And I think the first couple of times we did it, I was trying to do both. I don't think that works. I think if you're doing a group stream, you have to pay attention to the group who you're playing with, and the chat will amuse themselves, pardon me, from what you're doing. So it's definitely a different experience, but it's also the first kind of time that I've spent any amount of time with DayZ. And like,
it's a terrible game.
I had fun.
This is what we've got to talk about, because I mean, I don't know if some bad Hollywood writer wrote the script for our film, because I turned up in DayZ and then the black guy died. Jive died, and I cut him up into food and ate him. And I was like, this is like a bad movie. Like, the black friend dies first.
Yeah, when I died, they said at least Jive did, because remember, white boy passed out first.
That's
and
true.
then they was like, oh, at least the black guy didn't die, and then I passed out. And then you was like, Jive, you literally just passed out on like something or something.
Yeah,
You dig the plot of
dig the plot, and you gave me the shovel, and then I was digging the, like, you have to ready the plot for some reason to put seeds in it, and I was doing that, and you came over to like talk to me or something, and then your character just fell on the plot.
Jive like dug his own grave.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
that
literally
was
dug his own
funny.
grave. And I was like, one guy in my chat was like, I've been here 30 seconds, and already
The
Eddie's
black-
eating people. And I've got to say, like, I think DayZ as a game isn't great, but DayZ is a game that you play with your friends, that you meet up and you role play. Like, I imagine it's kind of like LARPing for people who are into that scene. Like, it was much more fun to play with people and try and meet up and try and scavenge and get into fights and try and plant seeds and shit than it was when I'd ever played it on my own. On my own, I was like, this fucking sucks.
Oh my god.
Right, well, that's probably why my last session was like I only spent an hour because I didn't know where the fuck I was at. I was constantly dying of hunger. Like I ate like 5 cans of SpaghettiOs and I was sitting there drinking pond water. My motherfucker was like ghetto full, and I was still seeing black and white. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like the biggest DayZ fan here.
Nerd.
And I gotta say that it was a rough experience these last few days. Because the game is like glitched right now. The food is invisible. Like half the food you have to find by clicking tab, and it doesn't show up in the world. And everybody has been dying from starvation.
It's too quick, dude. Like it literally is. Like
I think it is a glitch though.
it's too
Yeah.
quick. It's too quick. Like I can go a complete day without eating video game. This motherfucker I'm playing can't go an afternoon without binge eating.
Well, you kind of start hungry. Like if you notice, you start kind of hungry.
I got it. No, I got it all the way till it didn't even exist on my thing. Like it, you know how you can drink water and it'll eventually like you're not thirsty at all.
Yeah, no,
I
I
got
had
to
that.
that
Yeah.
point. I got to that point, and within 15 minutes, I was back. Like my stomach is crumbling terribly.
See, what you gotta do
Yo.
is you gotta have something actually pop up. You said you just had it so it didn't say you were hungry. You have to make it so it says that you're stuffed and that you're like satisfied and energized.
Yeah,
That's
a
the thing.
lot of that. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of it's
don't-
in the sort of command report thing, like the kill feed
Yeah.
for COD.
Doesn't your character be bitching? Like he's like a big baby, like, I'm cold. I'm shivering. I'm a little hungry. My stomach just rumbled. I'm like,
I
dude,
miss
shut
my
the
cat.
fuck up.
Yeah, I miss, but I want my mom.
Yeah, like-
No, the one thing that annoyed me was we were trying to like fish and stuff, right? And there's this like foot deep pond, right? And it's not really clear where the edge is, right? If it's like a clear pond, fine, and you stand by the edge of it, and that gives you the activation to fish. None of that. Just normal terrain pond, and you take one step in that pond, and it's like I am completely
Mushy.
soaked through.
Yeah, I'm
I have
mushy.
contracted some hideous water disease that I don't know.
You got leeches.
Yeah, I got leeches and shit. Jive, help me. No, I mean
Yeah.
it was fun to play. In like, I don't want to slag off DayZ. Like, it's not. It's fun to play despite the things that are kind of awkward about it, and I think that a lot of people who are fans of the game look past that and they see the potential for the role playing, because the map is fucking massive. Like, it's
Massive.
absolutely huge, and everything's in Russian. So it's when you first start playing it, it's really disorientating. Like, every town, the houses look the same, and you're like, there's train tracks. Well, there's train tracks everywhere. So, if you can find the coast, that's a good start. Just go along the coast and loot. And then, White Boy, you gave me this tip, which was like, go in a room and just press tab, and then walk around with tab open. And the items that are invisible, that don't even have a picture on them, will show up, and you'd go over them and it says it's food and whatever. So the items are actually there. It's just that for some reason at the moment they're invisible. And I'm just like, I suppose I want to ask this, like, you and I, White Boy, we both played H1Z1 and DayZ, and you're a big fan of DayZ. I really like H1Z1, even though I haven't done the survival element of it. I really like the VR part of that game. And to a certain extent, do you think that a game like H1Z1 coming out with an obvious game mode that's very stream friendly, that's very, like, it's not a problem for us to get in the same lobby at all. Like, do you think that that's going to kill off something like DayZ, which to all intents and purposes is a much more hardcore experience, much deeper, more difficult to be accessible to people? Do you think that DayZ is just going to fade away, or do you think they're actually going to finish it?
I don't think so, because, like you said, people are looking for that hardcore experience, and the reason I don't play H1Z1 Survival is because it's not that hardcore, and it's not as fun, in my opinion. But Battle Royale is a whole different thing, and that's really, really fun. And it's more fast-paced. You kind of just jump into it. Like, Armor 3 has a game type Battle Royale. Actually, the guy who made Battle Royale got hired by H1Z1 to take it from Armor 3 to H1Z1, which I thought was a really smart move.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll kill it off. I think competition has actually got to make both games better, because H1Z1 kind of said that they directly copied DayZ. They're big fans of DayZ, and they saw it, and that's why they made the game. But the people who are working on the game, like their community manager and their lead developers, are really into Twitch. They were Twitch streamers themselves. They make YouTube videos. They make videos for the game. They do Twitch streams for the game, so they're really in tune with that, and I think that's definitely helping them.
That's a plus, definitely.
Like, they gave me a server. That's really cool. So we're thinking about doing something with the podcast fans and the hosts, and having some kind of battle.
Why are we dancing around what the actual problem with DayZ is?
What is it?
It runs like shit.
I was gonna bring that up, but like y'all changed the subject. Like we all have good graphics cards, and I pushed 8. I pushed 8 frames per second.
I mean, the game looks like something that came out. I understand it's on a grander scale. It's on a much bigger scale, but like the game looks like something that would be on the PlayStation 1.
Well, it looks like graphically, because it looks at that. If you have one frame, if you're only getting 1 frame per second, that 1 frame looks absolutely amazing.
It does not look absolutely amazing. It looks like a game made in 2004.
What?
It doesn't.
If you're not moving, the frames look good. But
No,
Well, it
DayZ
depends it really does depend what texture settings you've got, and I think what Geordie's relating to is actually to make the game runnable. You have to, I have a graphics card that wasn't invented when DayZ was built, right? It's several generations. I have a 980, right? So this card, you have a 970. These cards should be able to run that game significantly better. And for some reason, it seems that the work in DayZ, like, correct me if I'm wrong, White Boy, but they're adding things like new items and they're doing all that kind of stuff. If I was a developer, I would want to build the game so that it functioned well before adding anything else into it.
So, I think I got a perfect answer for that. There's graphical people who just work on, like, there's one person, I bet you, that just works on clothes. So they can't do anything about the engine. I'm sure they can make their clothes a little better perform, but so these people are working on one thing, and they're adding items every single week. They're adding some kind of new item. But I totally agree. It's really shitty, and especially your guys' experience, I think, is kind of hindered because we were just in the big cities. We're at the coast, and for some reason the coast, like, Electro is horrible. Electro is like the biggest city in the game. You get no frames looking into the city.
Let me ask you this. Like, DayZ, the alpha came out, what, 2012? 2011?
2012 Christmas, I think.
You're talking about the Armor Alpha?
No, the DayZ.
The standalone?
Standalone, yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years now, I think.
It's like 2 years.
2.5.
At this point, and it's changed a little bit. But they must have the smallest staff on the planet Earth working on this game.
They made so much money too, and that's that's a complaint that the community has. They could have invested a lot of this into
and they're
the development.
still in alpha 2 years later.
I kind of right. So I don't want to beat up on DayZ because I know people are fans of it, and I can see theoretically how it can be fun. Like, I'll say this, like, role playing and doing that kind of stuff, the hardcore survival experience isn't my go-to gaming experience. But I'm not just going to shit all over a game because it's not to my taste, right? I can see the potential in DayZ. I think a lot of people can see the potential in DayZ. What I'm trying to pinpoint is, it seems to me like the people that developed H1Z1 have been able to, in a much shorter period of time, have been able to release something that functions better from the ground up. They've built an engine, they've done this, they've made the world run not like complete shit, right? And I really want to understand why the DayZ team, it must be something to do with how it's coded or the engine that it's built on, because I would have thought the only way that I could get 20 frames per second with the graphics card and the PC that I have is if the entire map is being drawn all the time. So the whole map is live all the time.
Or your computer overheated. something
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
bad.
that map is huge. That would make me understand why. And if that's the case, if they're working on that kind of architecture where the whole map is live and networked all the time, everything that's happening in that larger space is happening in real time for everyone on the server, then I can kind of understand that's a huge project, and it's probably a generation too early, you know, in computing terms for that to work effectively. But I don't know. I just don't know enough about the game. I think there are obvious things that they could do, like make killing zombies more fun, dude. You punch them in the face.
They run way too fast. Like,
to be fair, I think there is a little glitch right now with this last patch that zombies aren't going down. Like before, you could just sledgehammer them. There's one sledgehammer to the face or even upper body would take them out. Now it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, like I think the biggest frustration for me as a hardcore DayZ fan is I know that it could literally be the best game ever, for me at least.
It is.
Yeah, your taste. Yeah.
It doesn't bother anybody else that they can't just put clothes on the characters effortlessly. Like, I'm having to like shuffle stuff around in my inventory and wait like a second for each thing to actually register that I moved it.
I'm pretty sure that's because you were streaming and a lot of that
process
was
still happening yesterday when I was playing without streaming.
Yeah, I ain't had that problem.
Yeah, but I know what White Boy's saying though, because I had a high ping to the lobby, obviously, because we're connecting to US lobbies, and one of the pings was like near 200. And whenever I wanted to move an item from one container to the other, it would take the ping. It was roughly the ping to the server it would take to register what's doing it, which makes me think that everything is live all the time. Every item, every building, every object is live all the time. Like, Fallout only runs as well as it does because it's a huge map, but only a certain amount of it is being rendered at any one time. Whereas I think all of DayZ is being rendered all of the time.
And that doesn't make sense because the sniper rifle only can shoot so far, and I don't see why they would do that.
Well, speaking about that, I mean, when I played DayZ, it was a mod, and the mod ran way better than the alpha did. And the mod was more fun than the alpha because the mod would keep track of how many zombies you killed, how many people you killed, how much your health was, how cold you were. It was like a counter that told you when you needed to eat and stuff.
I think a lot of those things are in the game. You just have to know your character says you're hungry.
But me and Lefty, we took some massive fucking shots, like shots that you shouldn't hit. Like anything you could see, the sniper rifle could hit if you could aim it well enough.
Yeah, there was like was it the AWP or it was like 3 letters. There were DMR. There was no bullet drop at all. That sniper was awesome.
Wow, I didn't even get to shoot a gun yet.
Designated marksman rifle.
I haven't found a gun. I've played DayZ for like 9 hours. I've never found a gun.
I've yet to see a gun. I seen one on White Boy's back.
I found 2 guns. That's just playing and knowing where to loot and how to loot, and you eventually learned that. I had a lot of fun trying to save Wings. Wings passed out from hunger, and I killed somebody. He came and I was like force feeding Wings or giving him CPR. Then I look over my shoulder and there's a person like aiming their gun at me, and then I like quickly Or in Daisy, it's kind of clunky, so you have to like cancel action and do all this hand motion bullshit. But I got away. I shot him. He had a can of tuna for wings. It didn't help him. He ended up dying. But I really enjoy. Like there's moments that are really fun.
Yeah.
But then there's also a big downtime too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I had a lot of fun us playing together.
Yes.
Like, I had a lot of fun in the social aspect of the game, which is why I said it's like LARPing in a way. Like, it's like role play, right? Okay, but you've got to use this fairly clunky tool to do that. Like, I don't know what it is about the PC gaming community, but server browsers are fine. But I really would like to just say, okay, us four are friends before we go in a lobby, then we join a server. Like,
Yeah.
I do not know how hard that is. Like, maybe it's not realistic, it's not hardcore enough in line with DayZ, but certainly other games like H1Z1. I want to join a battle royale with my friends. Okay, here you go. Like, it's one of my complaints about PC gaming, but it's you know, a side issue of DayZ. Like, I think DayZ is best
DayZ
explored with friends.
It definitely is. I was live streaming it yesterday, like by myself, streaming. I'm like, how is this fun and this and that? And then White Boy was like, yo, like we'll join lobbies together. And then he gave me the lobby. Then bam, and then I was like in the city by myself, and White Boy was like, I see where you at. I'll be there. And I'm sitting there, I'm bored and all this. Then when I saw White Boy running up, I was like a fucking puppy. Like, I was like, oh, yo, that's you. Yo, I'm right over here. Then like, it just was fun after that. Then you two joined. Then I was just having a ball. Like, I was playing it earlier. And it was a little, once you start learning, like, what to do and the buttons and all that stuff, that's another thing. I didn't even, like, look at what buttons did what. I was trying to jump with space bar, and it just made me go like this. I'm like, what the fuck?
And the thing is, we didn't get to really kill. I killed a few people for wings to try to save them, but in cold blood too.
Yeah.
But once
White
we get
Boy,
in,
by the way, has a theme tune, and it's just cold as ice. White Boy is a cutthroat motherfucker. If you think in the real zombie apocalypse, you see this guy, you run away. You run away. He's collecting ears.
It's gonna be like this.
His fucking necklace, I'm telling you.
we got food. Come here, bang! Terminus.
Have to be the food.
Fucked up.
Human steak, medium rare.
Yeah, I think my final thing is it was a rough experience. I think, but everybody has that learning DayZ or getting on it again. And Wings was trying to stream it, and that like he had 10,000 ping trying to hit a zombie, and that was really bad. But it gets really fun when you're calling out stuff and you have guns, and then you start taking other people's loot, and like, okay, you spend like 10 minutes, you find your first weapon, and you finally find the bullets for that weapon. That's a great moment. And then you know you're not really looted. You got a shirt, you got some pants, maybe a can of food. But then you see someone and you outplay them. You take their stuff, and then you got a backpack now. Oh, you got more ammo, and then you keep on going up. And
Next thing you know, you got a GPS where you can interlink with satellites.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's the thing that keeps me playing DayZ. Like when I used to play it religiously, I mean, I used to play it 8 hours a day. It was hunting people. I loved hunting people. That is what DayZ was to me. We get in like 2-man teams. I'd have an assault rifle. Lefty'd have the sniper rifle. I'd pull the binoculars out. Be like, 300 clicks, 2 mil dots down, and like, you've seen the videos. You've all seen the videos.
yeah.
We would butcher kids. We'd rack up like 85 kill streaks.
Kill streaks.
Yeah.
some servers I think
ready for deployment.
like Wings likes this the mod because there's so many different options too when it comes to modding, and that's where I have some more potential for DayZ is when they open it for other people to start modding and adding things like what Wings wants, the health bar and how many kills you got, zombie kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a conversation on stream yesterday, which I'm really surprised hasn't happened yet. It may do at a certain point. I was like, we were playing H1Z1 BRs, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, say there was you could make custom lobbies, right? So you make it like one quadrant, one little section, like D6. That's the only place. 4 people spawn in D6 or whatever, and it's 2v2, and both sides have one sniper rifle and one set of binoculars, and it's literally you have to hunt each other down, and it's like BR. So the gas comes in and makes the zone smaller in that one plot. So there'd be like these little mini sniper duels that you could do, and if you could make custom servers like that, that's almost limitless potential, almost limitless, and that's something that I'd really like to see. I would play the shit out of that.
DayZ's trying to implement bases, which they had a long time ago in the mod, and like you can have now a tent, and you guys seen the garden plots and stuff, so you can start to set up your little base. I think that's got to be fun too.
How's that going to follow you server to server though?
I think it'll have to be on a private server, like public servers. They want to. Well, it would work on it's like just server to server. So
okay, let me help DayZ out. If they anybody on the DayZ team, let me help you out. 2 things you need. 1, a auto run button. Let me press the Q button.
My little finger's tired.
Yeah, let me press the Q button and he runs automatically for me. All right. Numero uno, that's number 1. Number 2, create a HUD. You don't need a mod team to create your HUD. Create a fucking HUD. If you don't want the HUD on your game, what you do is you put an option that says make HUD invisible, and just automatically have that checked. And if somebody wants the HUD, they can go uncheck it. So, because the idea isn't that your game is hardcore, it's that people want to play your game. That's what you should be making through. You should make a game people want to play, not an ideal vision of your artistic goal.
You know, have your own lobby, no HUD. You go your own a server, no HUD on the server. Hey, you know, I just won't play in that server. Play in a server with a HUD. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, I think that people, like, you have the option for either first-person servers or third and first-person servers. No one plays in first-person on the third-person servers, so people with HUD servers would pretty much just always have the HUD on. That you'd be at a disadvantage if you don't have it on.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to be,
we're not talking like
hardcore.
Major HUD though. We're talking like how much health do I have, and like
they can
how
literally.
many kills, how many
What
kills
direction
well,
am
not
I
even
going?
that. Not even that. Let's make a compromise. Let's have a journal item that your character always has.
I was thinking of that.
You can just look up and you go, and it's like written in handwritten, you know, or written in blood. You know, could DayZ, right? Written in blood. How many people you've killed, right? How many zombies? Like survival diary, right? This is this person's survival diary. And when you kill people, you find that character's diary.
I like that idea a lot.
And you find out just how fucking badass the guy that you sniped from 2 miles away was. Like how many days he's been alive, how many things he's like, everything that tracks it. Like just a survival diary. You don't have to have a HUD at that point because you can quickly go into your inventory and check. Like I can understand the hardcore people not wanting that, so a compromise is something like that. Surely, we could make that work.
They need to learn for Call of Duty. You don't make the game for your least common denominator. You don't make Call of Duties for MLG. You make them for everybody else. You don't make DayZ for the hardcore fan base. You make it for the people that actually play the game once a week, maybe.
You're trying to ruin the game.
I don't
Comparing
know
it to
if
Call
I
of Duty.
totally. Even though my taste is aligned with you, Geordie, I don't know if I 100% agree in DayZ's particular example, because I think it's okay if you say I want to make a hardcore game. I think that's an okay thing to say.
Jordy wants them is like putting in their head if they want to make money, basically. Like if you want people to play your game and buy that shit.
Dude, they made shitloads of money.
They made their money already.
Oh, I know, but they can make way more money if they, you know, dumb it down.
There's still way more money to be made. You couldn't release this game right now on the PS4, which is what they're planning you to do like it is and have it sell.
I can't imagine the PS4 running that. How's it going to run that?
It's got to be a lot better. There literally has to be miles of improvements.
Do you think they're working on that version more than the PC version?
I don't know.
No, because they're gonna have to port the don't they just port?
I mean,
the
they
PC
could just port
version?
it. They could. I mean, but like
they could. But what they could have done is ported an earlier version, and they've been working on that. And when this happened with Blacklight, right? So when Blacklight was ported over to the PS4,
this bad boy's getting it too.
Dude, it's gonna look like a fucking picture book on Xbox One. It's gonna look like someone's crude drawing. of a survival experience.
Oh, did your son draw this? Oh, that's a game.
Yeah.
That's a video game.
You know what's weird is I never see any "stop hating on the Xbox One" comments in any of these videos, so I think we're safe with the Xbox One.
I don't think
trolling.
anybody owns the motherfucker anymore. I think I paid $600 for a controller to use on my PC. That's essentially what I did.
Oh, come on with the Xbox jokes, man. Xbox is great.
Yeah.
We love
And
Xbox.
collecting dust.
500 quid.
They're gonna kill y'all in the comments.
I want to use my Xbox One. I do.
No.
I got like 40,000 achievement score. I can't force myself to buy an Xbox game.
What would you even buy though? This is the thing. Like, what's out on next gen that's really good?
The only thing I'm gonna buy on Xbox One is the Tomb Raider game when it comes out.
Is it only on Xbox One?
It's only on Xbox One. It's exclusive for a year.
For a year. Oh, what? So sort of like Mass Effect.
Right, kind of. It's a year exclusive. I'm like, okay, I'll get it on the Xbox One because I want to play it.
I tell you what, I'm excited to play Mass Effect 4. I don't know if any of you guys have
They're
played
making a
that.
4?
Yeah, they are making a 4.
Thought 3 was the end of the trilogy.
It's the end of that character's trilogy, Shepard's trilogy, but they're keeping that world alive.
They're still-
BioWare are working on another Mass Effect set in the same universe.
They're Star Wars and the shit out of it, huh?
Yeah, man. It's what's happened with the democratization of entertainment. Like, if you think 50 Shades of Grey, right, started off as Twilight fan fiction. No shit. It started off as some Mormon woman writing her sexual fantasies down about what Edward and Bella would get up to. I'm not joking. That's 50 Shades of Grey. And it changed into this other thing. So when people were like, they don't want to kill universes like the Mass Effect universe off, it's because there's always limitless potential. You could get a whole new team of writers in. They could take the story in a totally different direction. Like, they just don't want to destroy IPs because actual new, great intellectual properties, as we've seen with next-gen consoles, are quite rare now. Like, it's rare to find a game series that's new. That's
I don't think that's because there's lack of creativity. I think it's because people are so afraid of losing money.
True. But that's why I'm saying they're a sort of, like, those universes are sought after commodities. Like,
It's
they
like-
really are.
You can
It's
see
like-
with Activision, they wanted Bungie, or they wanted Destiny to be that next Call of Duty. They invested so much money to make it the next, universe where there is going to be a Destiny 2 and 3. They planned that.
They forgot to make it not boring.
Yeah, their multiplayer sucked really bad. I mean, it didn't suck. It was actually really fun for a while. No, it was fun for a while. No, it was fun for a while, and then it was like, okay, this is boring now because there's only 4 maps, 4 game types. Okay, maybe 8 maps, but
Games suck.
Yeah, I mean, my main problem. Well, I'm not going to go into a huge Destiny rant. People know my feelings about that. Like, I don't like having my control limited, especially on console. Like, I'm used to COD controls. Infinity Ward got it right with COD 4. They got like how you control your character, like the aim and everything. They got it all right. So I don't know why every other game insists on doing another control scheme. Like Destiny's very slow and very tanky and all that kind of stuff. I didn't enjoy that, and I didn't enjoy the one-shottedness of Destiny. Everything kills you one shot. Let me just explain something to you. There's a first-person shooter in which there's a grenade that's a homing sticky grenade.
That hits like an
what?
AC-130 shot.
Yeah, what crazy bullshit is that? Like, that is, like, if you can't... Right, the cool thing about sticky grenades was that you would throw them and you'd randomly get them, right? Or you wouldn't or it was skillful and it was like, fuck, I just stuck that guy. Semtexes and stickies from Halos. That's what's cool about them. If you remove the oh my god moment from that, then it's just the cheapest shit ever. How is that satisfying?
it sounds like a hunter-killer from Black Ops 2.
And then Black Ops 3 copies them.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3.
Let's not talk about that, but it's just stupid that this is what they're copying from Destiny. We know Vaughn loves Destiny.
Yeah.
This is what made Destiny fail, and you want to put it in your game.
But okay, let's talk about this. We're all like COD fanboys, right? That's where we came. We're now Battlefield fanboys, a lot of us, but we came from loving COD. I think we're just too old for Destiny, man. I know loads of people who play Destiny, like
That are like 10.
no. There's people who are just like in their 20s who like instead of full partying up in COD, which is what people used to do, they're now doing it in Destiny and doing the nightly raids. And I say they're going to work, right? So they get online to play their games with their mates and they do their chores. Like they go and do the nightlies and the strikes.
Oh, I gotta get my 30 hit strike.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. Like they're doing that instead of playing COD. And actually, Destiny is credit where credit's due. Destiny is a much bigger game than COD at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of the amount of people playing it. So we could just be all salty old men, which is what I've long suspected.
I've long suspected that too, but like,
how can we tell what numbers are for COD?
You can't anymore, but I'm looking at Destiny on Twitch, and a lot of the people who are like top ranked, they're doing the raid. There's another raid, another stream, another raid, another day, another raid, a raid Wednesdays or some shit. All raids give us the Galil. Like everything is raiding.
Raid.
That's what it is, and it's not multiplayer. And I think a lot of us love the multiplayer aspect of it, not of Destiny. Excuse me.
Oh.
We
Loved multiplayer.
we love multiplayer,
Yeah.
and Destiny didn't do it.
How many views do they have total? Twitch.
12,000, and
That's double COD.
COD has 5,000.
12,000? Hold on. It must be like 3 real big guys in there.
Yeah, there's a few Destiny streamers.
and to be
that are
fair,
good.
Call of Duty lost a large point of its numbers over to MLG.
Yeah, no, that's true. But a lot of people don't really stream publics on MLG. Like they just don't.
Right, but the fact is, like a lot of the COD viewers went there with that.
Yeah, they're all that.
A viewer's a viewer regardless.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough.
Because
Yeah.
technically that raid's not Publix either.
Now, what do you
Well,
guys
still
think of like saving the universe, like Mass Effect, but TV shows like Better Call Saul? Have you guys checked that out at all yet?
I don't have cable TV.
No, I have. Do you know that I'm going to commit grand heresy here? But I've watched 2 seasons of Breaking Bad. I haven't finished it, and I haven't finished it because it's one of those things. Everyone who's got a girlfriend will understand this. Is that you start watching a show with your girl, right? And they do this girl thing where you'll start watching like in a session like 3 episodes in a row. 5 minutes into the first one, they fucking fall asleep, right? So I'm watching this with Zoe. We're watching Breaking Bad. She falls asleep all the time. She's like, I don't remember what happened in that episode. And then eventually the series just falls by the wayside. Not because I didn't like it, but because I feel out of order if I watch it without her. But
Yeah.
we'll never watch it because she'll just fall asleep. Or she wants to watch Game of Thrones or, some other series which is caught up. So I haven't seen it. I have heard Better Call Saul is really fucking good, though.
So far, it's pretty good. I missed the last few episodes. I really like watching TV shows with Kelly. It's like one of my favorite things to
Yeah,
do.
I like it too.
But
What is it?
I hate
what is
like
it-
I'm usually the one that falls asleep at like episode 3 in the day. I'm like passing out.
What is it with these girls with like green hair and blue hair, like that girl Clara Baby Legs and stuff like that? Like I'm watching this girl. It's a streamer house, and she like has like aerial.
I think people
Green
just want to
hair.
be different on Twitch. Like they want to set themselves apart a little bit. Like I know there's a lot of big Twitch streamers that have like purple, blue, pink. Like every Twitch streamer has a different freaking colored hair. It seems like.
Yeah, I'm like, is that the new thing or like?
Yeah, I see a green. I see a red hair on the Destiny homepage. I know
Green,
Syndicate
I
dyed
see
his hair
red.
for like a donation goal, but I think these people just want to be different. And
You
to
see
be
that-
to be honest, you get viewers from that. Like just because this guy looks a little interesting. Like if you see 10 white guys that look exactly like me, and then you see one with blue hair and like a big lip ring, you gotta check that guy out just to see what he's up to.
To
if
see
he's-
what he's about.
That's true, but
kind of a
I wouldn't
weirdo.
go that far.
I'm gonna get a mohawk. Just
You see
gonna
they're back
sell out.
together. You see they're back together. Clara Baby Legs and the dude.
Really?
Basher. Yeah, they're back
Oh,
together.
wow,
he
Basher,
did.
come on.
They did a.
Basher must be slinging that good D.
Right in the ass.
She must got good ass
Yeah,
pussy.
right. Let's just talk about that for a moment. I can't believe that she'd get back with him after he basically went on fucking Drama Alert, and the interview was like, at the end, he was basically like, well, fuck her, but at least I got to fuck her in the ass. Like, what the fuck kind of relationship is this? Like, what's going on?
She got good pussy to him. You know, like the way the person he is, I'm not bashing him or nothing. His name is Basher. But the person he is, he probably didn't get a lot of pussy like in his life, and pussy's great. Like, you know, like pussy is a powerful thing.
Not all pussy's good. Not all pussy's good.
I know, but
yeah, but that's because you've tasted many.
Yeah.
That's
bingo. That was my main point at the beginning. Like if you have corny pussy. If the pussy's not
slack
good,
pussy,
right?
slack
and
pussy.
then you're not used to pussy, and then you get it, and then you get that nut. See, that's the main. This shit turning freaky. That's the main thing, like getting that nut, and then that feels like great, like while it's happening, and he wanted that to keep on happening, and he just let her come back.
It seems staged a little bit. Like I feel like someone like unrevealed this rape or whatever charge with Basher, and then they wanted to distract everybody from that rape, so they had this big drama. And then, like, when he's doing the interviews with Keem, it's just something in his voice, like he's
that
acting.
last interview.
Oh no! Ah! Like he's.
Oh, that's Wings of Redemption's room. Oh my God, that's his water jug right there. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm like, for real?
How old is he? He's 29, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Maybe it's just because I'm English, so I'm naturally understated. But I never believe anyone who's like that extroverted. I just never believe. I don't know what it is. I just have this innate distrust of people who are like that. Like, if you watch me stream, you watch me play COD, I'm screaming blue murder, like, quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But when I'm playing COD, I'm a child. And people don't understand that, for me, that makes me happy, right? Most of the time, I'm this person that sounds vaguely intelligent, so people have told me, right? Not that I've ever said that myself, but I sound like a human being that is civilized and can have a conversation. When I play COD, I'm just screaming at the TV or the monitor, right? And I do silly voices and I do all this. And when I'm playing that, I'm like 10 years old. But when someone's talking to me, I'm not doing that. And anyone who's like that when they're just talking, I don't believe. Is that cynical of me?
Do you see him when he's playing a game?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
My God. That fucking intro to his channel is so... I don't... It's like... It just reminds me of Pee Wee Herman. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
How he act... Like, it reminds me of that.
Hey, guys!
Yo, he said, "Oh my God, I got this game. It's so wonderful. Oh my God, I can't wait to share it with you guys." I'm like, wow.
I see that completely different, though. I just see a motherfucker that's using code speak like, "Oh my God, guys, thank you for giving me all this money. I'm going to play this stupid
it's definitely
game I
what
paid
he's saying.
nothing for."
It's
Here's the
definitely
thing.
what he's saying, but like, wow.
Here's the thing, like, I thought about this the other day. When we give those Minecraft guys shit, right, in the salty old COD veteran YouTube guys that we are, right, and we give them shit and they're like, oh my God, they're just, it's kids' entertainment and stuff like that. We don't say the same thing about people who are on TV as actual children's entertainers. We don't give them shit. We go, that's their job.
We know that's their job.
I hated Barney.
I think it's because
I used to want to punch him in his face.
like we have a choice of what kind of content we make, and like if it's your job, you have to act like you're an actor.
Yeah, you're an actor. Like Steve from Blue's Clues was an actor. He got paid by another person to come and act that way. This person makes a conscientious choice. The only person that's telling him to act that way is himself. Like,
But what if he owns the... Right, okay, so let me reframe it. So say if you get a pilot for, like, a children's TV network, and you're the star and the writer, and you own the production company, right? And you know that this is a market you can go for, and you think that you could be a good child's entertainer, and you run the show yourself, and you're in it, and you do that acting. We wouldn't be sitting here giving those people shit. We'd be like, entrepreneur. We'd be like, he's doing what he's good at, right? We'd probably...
First off, Steve wasn't a child rapist.
Yeah, but okay, you have to clarify that Basher isn't a child rapist.
He's not a child rapist, but he's a guy who has a sexual crime against him.
That's some shit like Keemstar does. I noticed he was doing something on he was doing an interview, and he called it an abortion, but it was like a miscarriage. Like there's some drama where they had a baby that was a miscarriage, but then Keemstar was calling it an abortion. Wings just did that same thing, and you can make him sound like a really bad person. He was a child rapist who had an abortion after the rape, when in actuality it's a miscarriage, and it was like I don't know.
It was between two consenting individuals, one of them who was underage. Like we've gone through. All I'm saying is, I'm not talking about Basher specifically. I'm talking about people who do Minecraft, and we're all cynical, and we're like, they're just pandering to these fucking kids. I'm sick of seeing this content, because I do that. Like that's what made me think about it. I was like, I was looking at YouTube the other day. I was looking at my sub box, and aside from like you three, the other people I do my podcast with, and about 5 other people, there's not much in my sub box that I want to watch at all.
I want to point something out. Money changes you. Obviously, we all know this. Go watch Basher's video, not this one, that where he tased. Did I tell you guys he tased his girlfriend?
No.
He tased his girlfriend. They're back together, and he tased his girlfriend because, like, it's like her making up. It's their truce or whatever. I don't care.
Better fuck that bitch in the ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm
right.
saying.
But watch one of his recent videos, like that video. Oh my God, I'm happy. Watch that video, and then go to his videos and watch his first ever video. I literally watched that video, and it was like, wow, this guy's good. Like, he had like a storyline. It was Minecraft, but he had like a storyline, and he was going into the world and talking to people and stuff like that. And it was like a storyline, and like you can follow through that. He wasn't acting like that. He was just acting regular. Then when he realized, wow, this is bringing in some money. Like, this is bringing in a lot of money. Then he started acting like Pee Wee Herman.
Well, I think it's smart, but
to be fair, Pee Wee Herman was a child guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's smart. Like, I had the same hate when like I would do giveaways. Like,
White boy, you would when your videos used to
do.
come on. When your videos used to come on, you used to say, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen," blah, 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 and then you played.
Yeah, I got like the intro.
Your intro was catchy. Your intro would bring them all in, and then you would turn back into you. That's how it was. This guy, not like he's a bad guy or anything.
For 10 minutes.
But what I'm saying is, my point is that in any other context, we're not giving them shit for doing what they do, and it's only in our world that I'm standing up for them to a certain extent, even though
I don't know about you, Eddie. But
right,
I was giving Mayweather shit for hugging motherfuckers in the ring.
Hold on, I want to talk about the Mayweather thing too.
Hold on, let's just finish this up.
Yeah, let me just finish that. Like, I'm sticking up for them and saying, to a certain extent, even though it's not content that I watch and find desirable, and I find it annoying that if you just watch any gaming video, YouTube automatically auto-plays some Minecraft video meant for 10-year-olds. That pisses me off, right? God. They could, work on their algorithm to separate at least FPS and
Put
Minecraft.
my motherfucking videos on my videos. If you watch a video of me, put another one of me up.
Yeah, like,
please,
why is
please,
Minecraft
YouTube,
on my
don't
shit?
just screw me over like that. Come on, not all gaming's the same, and you need to do research. Anyway, aside from that, like if they were just on TV, we wouldn't give them shit. And what made me realize that was taking streaming seriously. Actually, is what made me think about this. Is that when I'm streaming, I'm different to how I am when I'm on a podcast, and what I am on a podcast is different. It is me, but it's a version of me that I show to the public. So everyone, even someone like myself, does do that I'm a different person on the internet thing. And it's
You're
funny
the informative you right now.
yeah, like I'm having a serious conversation about something. I'm trying to express myself. Like, it's funny how we give some people shit for acting, but not everybody else. And it's just kind of streaming for me was the big thing. Like I said, that turned me onto this. It's just actually streaming is difficult, and not everybody can do it. Not everybody can be an entertainer live. Actually, that's a skill, right? And we don't give COD people that are entertaining like shit for maybe playing up to what their audience wants of them, but we go after these other guys like, oh, they're just pandering. And I just think I think there's a level of hypocrisy there. But I mean, that's going to be an unpopular opinion, but that's just how
I agree with you. I don't like, maybe some people would say some of us are hating, but to hate, I wouldn't ever do Minecraft videos like that. So I'm not like jealous that he discovered it first and he's doing it like he is. But I think the thing is that, I don't know, who cares? He's doing his own thing. He's not affecting any of us. He's making videos not for us. I don't think we should really care.
Well, the only reason I care is because the YouTube makes me watch them.
I care because I'm subbed.
You subbed to that motherfucker?
No, I'm just kidding. Who do we give shit that doesn't act like a baby? I mean, not a baby, but like act like, I'm your teacher and hey, let's play and you're 8. Like, who do we give shit that doesn't act like that?
Well, we give shit to that one guy, I forgot his name, the Black Ops 3 news guy.
Biblical Reaper.
But that's kind of the same thing.
It is the same thing. It's people taking advantage of a system.
But
like they're like kids watch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I suppose what it is it's that attitude of you're being cynical, right? So if I changed who I was now and made Minecraft videos and hey guys and if I had hair, got one of those, vaguely Hitler-looking haircuts. I don't mean to insult you, Basher, but you're verging on the Hitler comb-over going on right now. You've got to be careful with that shit. I'm just saying, it's a friendly word of advice. Do you know what I mean? Don't ever grow a tiny bit of a mustache. It's going to be bad for you. But if I did that and got one of those, a fade and Hitler hair and started making, like, kids Minecraft videos, people would be like, yo, what the fuck? You used to be this guy that would talk shit all the time and try and make people laugh, and now you're pandering to kids, and I would catch shit for that. So it's the cynicism, it's the purely business mindset that I think is still a big taboo, especially in the COD community. But in YouTube,
I mean, I got that back in the day when I was doing the giveaways and asking for likes and favorites and stuff like that. People didn't like it because it was a business move, and I was just thinking, wouldn't it be great to have like a Hitler pink rainbow mustache or something? I think that'll get some viewers on Twitch.
Yeah, the guy from RoboCop, remember? I'd buy that for $1, and he had the swirl, like his mustache came out and it swirled around.
Talk about like a rainbow dyed,
just like a little Hitler.
Yeah, tiny little, just like a rainbow flag just across.
Oh no, that would suck. That would suck.
It would suck, but I bet you get more viewers.
I bet you would get viewers. You would get viewers.
It'll be a whole bunch of comments. What the hell is that? I like your mustache. It'll be all mustache comments.
Can I just say one thing that we have to talk about vaguely? Is we didn't get to it last week, but we didn't talk about Baltimore at all. We didn't talk about riots, and a lot of. We don't have to talk about it now, but just a footnote we have to remember, because trust me, guys, we read the comment sections and we knew when we recorded the show that we didn't touch on it, not because we weren't interested or we didn't know.
We just ran out of time.
We just ran out of time.
Yeah, I believe at the end of the show we were like, we need to talk about
As soon as we stopped it, yeah, I was telling them while I was streaming one day. As soon as we stopped it, we said, "Fuck Baltimore!" Like we had it in mind, but like it's the same old same. Like it's on a high scale, definitely. I don't have a problem with them looting stores. Like, this might sound bad. I don't have a problem with them looting stores. I don't have a problem with them destroying the cop cars. I don't have a problem with any of that shit. The only thing I had a problem with was innocent people. Like, they saw a white guy walking down the street. I don't know if I doubt he said anything, but somebody was recording it. I saw it on like Instagram or something, and it was just a white guy walking down the street, and then they just started hitting him. I'm like, come on, dickheads! Like, what are y'all doing? Like, fuck the stores up. Let the city pay for that stuff. Like the city cops did that. They worked for that city. Let them know. Let them cops be like, see what you did. You know, now y'all got all these stores fucked up, all these cop cars fucked up. Like, don't hit innocent people walking down the street.
Well, a lot of those stores are like Baltimore community members too, and people when they're riding, I don't think they realize that they're like a lot
they're
of
private owned. You know,
like you attacking a Wendy's,
right?
you attacking a McDonald's. Like you think me attacking a McDonald's would be fuck the corporate man. Well, someone owns that McDonald's, and yes, he's part of the corporate system, but
franchisee.
It's
his
bullshit.
business.
Doesn't some insurance pay for that?
Insurance does pay for that. I mean, the business that's irrelevant. There's insurance companies for a reason. Make them do what they're there to do.
Bingo.
I tell you one thing that I've mentioned this before, but like my real surprise is in seeing how divided the reaction is actually to something like this. Is that I see a lot of people on my timeline that are white, that come from a particular part of America, that have the attitude of like, they're not being explicitly racist, like fuck these black guys, but there is a latent level of us and them. So they talk with the phonetics and language of those people, right? So they immediately separate themselves out on racial terms, even though they're not using like racial insults or anything like that. Just in the language and the way that they speak, they're separating their America with that America, right? And that's immediately noticeable to someone who's from outside the States. And then another thing, which is like, I don't know why there seems to be, Jive, you can back me up on this, but generally when something like this happens or it's a cop killing, a lot of white people will automatically take the cop's side.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there could have been this, there could have been that, you don't know what this guy was doing, all that kind of stuff. They'll immediately side with the authority figure. Immediately.
Yeah.
And then black people on Twitter that I follow will immediately side with the opposite.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
my point of view is, with something like a riot, something that's so divisive, none of that's helpful. Right. None of that us and them, or I'm going to automatically defend this person, or I'm automatically going to defend that. It's not actually useful. If you want to solve these issues, you have to be as objective as you can and look at why these things happen and what we can do to stop them. Because actually, they benefit nobody. Point scoring on Twitter about, you know, closet, my race is more civilized than yours, bullshit, right? Incidentally, one tweet that I saw was, at least white people don't riot about sporting events. I was like, I'm English. Try that again, mate. Like, you're talking absolute bullshit. You can talk to Canadians when they lose the hockey. Don't try that shit with me. That is absolute bullshit. Anyway, my point was, like...
White boy, you alright?
Oh no, wings dropped, and there's a problem with this call, and it's covering my face, and I was just trying to peek up so that people could see it. The screen right now, if you're watching, is a little messed up because wings draft. But
I saw you was like ugly as shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
You talking about white people?
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
What you saying about my race?
Okay. So yeah, my main point is that looking at issues like this automatically from one side or the other don't help anybody. And the quicker that the American dialogue of race gets out of that habit, like, just because you're white, you don't need to defend the fucking cops, right? There's just, like, you don't have to. It doesn't mean that actually doing that would be wrong in every case, because it wouldn't be. But you like that automatic shit, like automatically, like, this guy was killed by cops. Oh, it's automatically racism on the black side as well, is not what we need to do. We need to go, right, we need facts, okay? We need facts, and then we'll judge it accordingly. Before any of this fucking, I'm taking this side because of some arbitrary thing that I was born white or I was born black. That's just my opinion. But you go ahead.
I have no problem with the races and this idea. I don't even think the races matter here. I honestly don't feel like they matter, because the Baltimore riot wasn't started by the Freddie Gray thing anyway. How can you look at cops in today's society and go, that's a well-oiled, functioning machine that's for the betterment of mankind?
Well, because there's so many people in prison. It's working.
There's so many people in prison because it's profitable to put people in prison.
That's what White Boy was basically saying. He wanted to point that out.
Because, like, let's look at, if you were a warden, if you had White Boy's correctional facility, the state would pay for the people's food, clothes, and put them there for you, while you get to use them as free labor.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
It does sound like it sounds like a wonderful deal.
Hell yeah.
So you could use all that money you make on free labor to pay judges to keep your prison full, so you can get grants and things like that to build onto your prison to make it bigger. And then you have White USA congratulating you for cleaning the streets up.
Mm-hmm. When you really got people building shit for you and making all this money, and you're getting praised.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
That's the way society works. Like, we were talking about earlier, talking about taxes, how, like, at one point in my life, I owed $15,000 in back taxes. It's a shitty car, but it's a brand new car. It's like a Kia Sophia or something like that. And I'm like, these guys are willing to fuck my life up, take my house, take everything I've ever had for enough money to pave the road in front of my house. And they're willing to send me to prison for $30,000 a year for like 9 years. So it's going to cost them like $500,000 to get this $15,000 out of me, which I can't make, by the way, because I'm in prison.
Exactly. Like child support. You owe child support. We're going to send you to prison.
It's another topic, but
and when you come back,
child support's fucked up because you don't work any of it off. You still owe the child support once you get out of prison.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Then when you get back, you owe that child support that was building up.
At least give them a fucking clean slate. Like, you're good. Slap on the wrist.
Yeah, you served your time.
You're called up. Keep paying your fucking child support. We don't want to put you back in there, But the Baltimore thing, I understand what you're saying. Now, you see white people that support people just because they're white. And I look at this as like people that go to church just because they want church as a community. You can't look at cops and be a rational thinker and think, man, these guys are awesome. I mean, because look at the Baltimore situation. 6 of them are on trial for murder now. 6.
Mm-hmm.
Not 1, not 2. 6 motherfuckers had to be, what's that shit called?
Indicted.
And I understand indicted, but it's like collusion. 6 colluded on killing this one kid. 6 people colluded, and then they put in the reports that it was a switchblade when it actually wasn't a switchblade. It was a lock blade, and he didn't have it out. He had it in his pants pocket. It's perfectly legal to carry a lock blade in your pants pocket in the state of Baltimore. Pretty much everywhere else as well. If you wanted a pocket knife, you carry a pocket knife. Yeah. And does that deserve that people need to break your spine because you run from them?
That's something I hear all the time. Why are they running? Probably because they don't want to get killed.
Maybe because...
I defy anybody, right, to be in a situation, like, let's not bullshit about this. Let's just speak plainly. If you're young, male, and black in the United States, it makes a lot of sense to be scared of the cops. It does. Definitely. And there's good reason, right, to be scared of the cops. They might physically or otherwise harm you for very little reason, right? And I think it's just a human reaction when people run. I don't think it's like this calculated, I'm going to get away. Like, really, most of the time, you're not going to get away. They've got cars, for fuck's sake. Like, you're not going to get very far on foot. The days of, like, they've got choppers and shit that can track you with heat vision.
They got radios.
Motherfucker, you ain't getting away. But everyone knows they ain't getting away. It's a human fight or flight instinct. And I defy anyone to be in those shoes and not be like, this guy's going to lay hands on me. And if I get violent, it's going to get worse. And my only option is I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, it's a human panic. It's a human panic. And when people are like, why are they running? I'm like, motherfucker, you've got the color of skin where they don't just put hands on you for no reason that often. They do, obviously. They do.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact. They do fuck white people up as well, but nowhere near to the same extent, in the same proportion to population. Like, they just don't. Like, and to pretend otherwise and go, why they run, is just fucking stupid. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm
Well,
going to
no,
get
no.
someone really
Let me disagree with you.
opposing who has
Eddie.
the authority to beat the shit out of you and see what you do.
Eddie, actually, cops kill more white people than black people, but they do black people more harshly. Like, it's just like the Charleston thing. Like, they'll just shoot the motherfucker in his back. But you got to understand, in the United States, there's more white people than there are black people. So it's
Yeah, that's
a
what I mean.
numbers game.
Proportionately, I said they are more severe. Yeah.
I mean, but it's just like, I don't know. In my life, I've had cops steal more money from me than I ever had a criminal steal money from me. I've lost more money to bullshit fines and tickets than I ever have to somebody doing me wrong on a personal-to-personal level. How many people here have lost more money to the police than they have to a criminal?
I gotta pay $1,500 because my fucking house isn't painted. I know it's not the police and a speeding ticket, but it's still the whole fucking system. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah.
And White Boy, we all know White Boy had that run-in with the law last year.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm white. I got off, so.
Straight bars. He
Eddie,
was in
have you ever
prison
played
for a while.
I know Eddie doesn't drive. Have you ever had a run-in with the police, Eddie? Usually running in with the police is traffic fines.
So when I was like 17 or something, me and my friends broke into a school, in like a school like playground, and like smoked weed on like the swings and shit, right? And obviously this was like in a residential area, and like some people who lived there heard us obviously or saw us or whatever, and they called the police, and the police came. And this shows you the difference between the two countries, man. Because the police came, I had a fucking huge bag of weed in my pocket, and I heard them coming before I saw them. So I threw it on the floor, and I thought they're gonna pad me down for definite because they can smell weed, right? So I just stepped on the bag of weed, so I had it under my shoe, and they patted me down, and they were like, "Okay, well, you're not allowed in here. It's trespassing. What were you doing?" We were just like, we just wanted to play on the swings, man. We're 17, right? Bear in mind. And this shows the difference. If that was in America, that would be a lot scarier situation. But like in England, it was like, well, fuck off then.
Well, I remember
Go home.
I got kicked out of a roller skating rink one time with my friend Julio. Like, I don't know, Julio would put like cheese on his hand, and he was like giving high fives to people skating past.
Random people?
I don't know. Yeah,
I'd have kicked your asses on too.
You're doing kid stuff. You were doing
No,
dumb,
but
stupid kid stuff,
no,
which
but
is fun.
we got kicked out, and then we were walking home. There was a big argument that he owed me $1. Somebody owed me $1 from the skating rink because I paid, and then we just got kicked out, and I was just stubborn, and I didn't want to let that go. And like we were smoking and everything, I don't think we had any weed on us, but we did definitely smell like it. So the cops stopped us as we were walking home, and like, I don't know, it was kind of the same situation. He was more worried about the people at the roller skating rink kinking us out because they had like lights on the top of their car, like the yellow lights, and the cop asked us if he was like abusing that to act like he was a police officer. But I literally told the cop that I had weed on me. Because he tricked me. He was like, "Do you have weed on you?" I was like, "No." "Do you not have weed on you?" I said, "No." And like, there was a double negative, and I got confused, and I was a little high. So I did tell him that I had weed on me, and he didn't do anything. He just let us go. So I don't know.
Smoke weed every day.
So I'm not sure if it's that different. Like growing up on 7th Street, I didn't really have many problems with the police.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything bad, but I did because I was in the younger group. There was like the older 7th Street brothers, all of them got arrested pretty much. And then there was a younger like crew the younger kids where they kind of kept us out of trouble. I mean, the police would do bullshit to us. Like I remember one time they said that they had a hostage or they kidnapped somebody in the basement of one of the houses where, there might or may not have been drugs being sold out of, and they raided the house looking for this hostage. And like stuff like that, but there was never anything violent that happened, and I think that's because like my 7th Street friends, they never fought back against the police. They always like did what they said, and there was never any any case of violence, and they had a lot of run-ins with the law. Like I said, everybody got arrested probably multiple times. So I don't know what I want to say there. I think if you listen to the police, it definitely helps, and running definitely does not help. And I'm just thinking, like, if I ever get stopped by police, I just listen to them, I do what they say, and I mean, it's different for me because I'm white, and I understand that, but
okay, there's the crucial difference.
It depends.
You say that.
I don't know why y'all keep bringing race. The only race that matters is rich and poor.
Yeah, I was about to say, and it matters what cop. Like, sometimes you get the right cop. Like, this doesn't happen. If it happened all the time, it'll just be all over the news. Oh, another guy. Like, it doesn't happen that much, but when it does happen, it gets pushed to the front so everybody can see it. Yeah. Like, you might have just got the right cop.
Come get you a South Carolina cop. Come get you a South Carolina cop. Your ass is going to get fucked up for looking at him wrong.
I will believe that.
I mean, Wings, you told the story where you got pulled over and you talk shit about.
I do talk shit, but see, I talk shit because I know most of them. Like my uncle's is in the county Mounties, and it's almost family integrated at this point because there's only 7 cops in Horry County. County cops, there's 7 of them, and there's obviously city cops. There's 18 Conway city cops, but county cops that cover the whole county, there's only 7 of them. I live in the county. I don't live in the city, so I know pretty much all of the cops by name. But like, if you were like, I don't know, say Jive came in and wanted to talk shit the same way I did, Jive's going to jail, and he's gonna get fined, and he might catch an ass whooping.
Yeah, ass whooping as in they got weapons and shit, because I'll probably fuck them up. I guarantee that. Like, if I fight back, I'll beat the shit out of them.
The fact is, you ain't gonna be fighting one person. You're gonna be fighting 3 people.
I know that.
Yeah, you gonna fight one. They don't play favorites. They play to win.
So when we do our little get together and shit, don't be like, drive, you drive. Fuck that. I'll be right in the back.
No, what will happen is if we get stopped by the police, I'll get out of the car and I'll just use the poshest, most sophisticated sounding English accent that I can possibly muster.
You think you're better than me, boy? You think you're smarter than me?
I'll have the sweater on. I'll be like, no, officer, of course not.
You would not have that fucking sweater on in South Carolina.
Did you see the video of the kid? He was like in a store. He was a white kid, and the cop was like, "Put your hands up" or something, and he was like this, like, "All right, my hands are up," and then the cop just put his head down and then stepped on his neck and shit.
Oh, the one that kicked him in the fucking mouth and knocked 3 of his teeth out?
I think so, and stepped on the back of his neck. And
yeah, and like the cop was like, I had to. He was going to run again. And like there's video footage, it's like he kicked 3 of his teeth out.
They do whatever they want, and I tell people this all the time. It's not because you're black. It's not because you're white. It just like they just do what they want. If they feel like doing it, they'll do it.
If a cop kicked 3 of my teeth out and I wasn't in jail the next day, there's gonna be a vendetta. There's a vendetta, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Definitely
doing something. You kick 3 of my teeth out?
So here's what I say, is that so let's take race out of the equation. Although I do think that it's relevant when these kind of things happen. I do see that division on Twitter.
Listen, I think they get off more easily if you're black. But they'll do what they want regardless because they can.
Look at Kelly Thomas, for example. You guys remember Kelly Thomas? The homeless guy in Los Angeles, where the cop would like put his gloves on in front of him, like, you see these? These right here gonna fuck you up. And then they killed a motherfucker right there with like 5 of them.
Was that who that was when they? Nah, this might be something else. I think we talked about
this. This is a homeless white guy that was sitting on the police. He wouldn't run. He couldn't run. He was like the middle of the night. He was sitting next to like a bench or something, like under the light. He was homeless, and this guy's Officer Ramos is like, he's gonna fuck you up. And
I think they're so tough, man.
And then they just killed him. They literally killed him. You guys want to see a picture of him?
Yeah,
sure.
All right.
We'll put this up. Like this is what they did to this old boy. It's gonna be a Google link now, so be careful.
Oh, and the super link, the hyperlink.
I hate Google picture links. It's so long.
Oh my goodness.
And they did this because he was just sitting on the sidewalk.
I'll show the.
They literally beat the man to death. It's on video too. You can watch the whole beatdown.
That's.
He looked like the guy off
They got off.
Hangover.
Those motherfuckers got off.
Oh shit. See, that's my point. Like they get off.
It ain't nothing about
Regardless.
race. This race baiting shit, that's annoying. That's some Al Sharpton bullshit. It ain't got a goddamn thing to do with race. It's rich versus poor. That's what it is.
Definitely, because if you're PWT, poor white trash, and you're walking through the hood and you get fucked up, like nobody don't care. They don't care. It's the same. It's the same thing.
There's a reason the hood's the hood. It's not because black people live in it. It's because it's how the society's built to keep people down.
Yeah, let Will Smith get fucked up by the cops. Oh.
Yeah, let Will Smith catch an ass whooping, or Chris Rock.
There was there was something.
Maybe
there's-
Chris Rock. They probably won't care.
No, right, okay. I accept when you say that the larger issue is it's about a class war, essentially, is what you're saying. I
Yes.
agree with that. But I do think that not in necessarily how the police act, maybe, although statistics kind of back me up and say that they do search for no reason black youth more than white youth. There is definitely a racism element to all this. I don't think it's all just Al Sharpton bullshit. I think it is empirically true that they do treat.
Could that not be a coincidence because like majority of black people are oppressed? Like,
there are
black people
plenty
are
of explanations
16%.
for it.
Black
lot of
people are
the common
16%
thing-
of this country. 16%.
This is the thing. This is my issue, is that a lot of the conservative criticism of these findings is, well, crimes committed more by black people, which is part of the reaction that I'm talking about, that is actually what's really going on and what's really the problem, is that people will automatically look for whatever justifies their worldview, right? So people who are white, who don't consider themselves racist, will say things like, why are they running? They won't be like, why are cops just shooting people in the back? They'll think that's normal. You run from a cop, you get shot, and they're kind of okay with that. And
That's
I'm like,
it's not normal. Like, what if I ran? Like, come on now. What if I ran and a cop shot me in the back? I guarantee that motherfucker's lazy.
It'll be the
Guarantee.
same. It'll be the same speed as the dude that was in that park. What was his name again? It'll be the same speed as him.
I could probably outrun that dude. I probably could have.
He was running so slow. I couldn't believe.
I could outrun that dude. I could beat him.
Running was the excuse. Like what? He
Especially
took his taser and ran. What happened? What did he say?
He said he
Something
took
about the
his
taser.
from him.
Yeah.
That
Dude,
was the.
Even
oh
if
my
that, even
goodness.
I don't know that guy's physical prowess. I don't know what kind of shape he was in, but I'm going to go on a limb and assume that even if he tried to take that taser from the cop, he couldn't do it because he was in such bad health.
The way he ran, definitely. I'll definitely second that.
Yeah, you know, like he wasn't a guy that was going to go out there and play first base for the Detroit Tigers. He was an old dude that just wanted to be left alone.
yeah.
Crazy.
And
man.
had a human run reaction. That's what I think. But anyway,
Yeah.
there we go.
Do you think a lot of cops that are doing these things are like sociopaths, or they just want to murder people, or
This is the thing. Like,
or whoa, one more, like, or do you think they are? Like, I know they bullshit on a lot of these stories, but do you think any of these stories, like, they actually fear for their life, or they're actually like what they say is what they're thinking? Like in the report, what they say in the report, that I feared for my life, he took my taser in the heat of the moment. Do you think they're thinking that?
The only justifiable, this wasn't even a murder, but the only one that I can say, all right, was when the guy was walking with the shotgun and stuff and shooting in the air in Arizona. That's the only one that I can probably say, all right, maybe they did feel threatened. He was walking into like a city, maybe a daycare was around, but anything else that I ever seen, like, was just cop going overboard.
I think that there must be times where what they say is what they felt. I think it's the rational thing to assume that, you know, there is at least some percentage of when they say, like, I'm scared for my life, like, that's true, that they feel that. I also think that that might be a result of how they're trained. You know, we've talked a lot of times, like, they're trained for these ridiculously extreme scenarios, which hardly ever fucking happen, right? To, like, beat cops or whatever. But, like, they're so minute, the chances. It's like putting the doors on planes where terrorists can't get in after they've flown the planes into the towers. It's like you're training people, you're catering to the most extreme example of what can possibly happen. And I think if you train people like that, they've got that in their mind that that's a possibility. So maybe the times where they're telling the truth and they're like, I fear for my life, it's because they're trained to fear for their life.
They could
You see what I'm
probably say
saying?
they probably scared of black people for real. I
Well,
feared for my life, and it's the truth.
That's
Like,
actually a natural thing. Like, white people are afraid of black people.
Well, any group is afraid of other.
I'm
Let's
not afraid
say-
of black people. I'm not
No,
afraid of
you're not,
Mexicans.
but- No,
I'm not afraid
no,
of
but
any- I'm not afraid
any
of white
group,
people.
any group is afraid of outsiders. And if you're a white person that's grown up not around black people or not taking the time to learn about black culture or learn, you know, the language, like the slang that they use or how they conduct themselves or anything like that, if you're not familiar at all and you're not from an urban environment, a city or something like that, and you just don't know the streets, like cops call it green. This, you know, people are like street green. They don't understand where they are and what it's like. I can imagine that, yeah, you would be afraid of black people because you don't see them as part of you. You don't. That's what I'm saying. The language on Twitter when people react to this is very divisive. Like, it's very like, oh, you're not all Americans, right? Some people, you don't think like that, actually. You think differently. You do think on racial terms, actually.
I think of stupid people. I'm more afraid of stupid people than of a certain race of people. Like, you can tell when somebody is stupid and willing to do something that is not very smart for their continual freedom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that comes from all wakes of life. I mean, I've transcended the whole race thing.
What if I'm walking down the street, you see, not me because I look like I'll fuck something up, but if like a regular black guy, like say, just a regular white guy, he got his little jacket on, whatever, walking down the street, and across the street is a white guy with tattoos and a lip ring and two big loop earrings, tattoos all over his face and muscles and shit. What side are you gonna walk on? Like, it depends. It's
Whichever side I'm on.
Whatever's closest, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the average pussy. It's a profiling thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for most people, they won't be like, oh, he's black, I'm gonna walk on this side because he's more trustable. The tattoo guy looks crazy, so I might cross the street and walk.
I'll say this: guy. Like, if I'm in London, if I'm in a big city, and I'm on a street late at night and I'm on my own, I will avoid groups of people.
Yeah,
like I'll look at groups of people who are like maybe a bit drunk or whatever. If I've been on like when I used to go on nights out, like I would avoid a group for certain.
Definitely that. I'll walk around.
Not I said to fly, because usually I'm carrying a 45 with me anyway.
Yeah, but see,
Yeah,
you're
okay.
gonna be shooting
I mean,
somebody.
I mean, but again, like you're carrying a 45, like you're carrying this pistol armed like Charles Bronson for the 0.01% chance that they're gonna be like, do you feel lucky? Like they're
No,
gonna
it's like
start some shit.
even if I had that situation and they started harassing me, like say I walked by a group of Latin guys and they started harassing me, my first thing is like, you know why I chose to walk by you, dude? Because I know you're a smart enough individual to see past race and to see that what I did was perfectly normal in a reasonable situation. You say something like that where it makes them have to second guess
They're gonna
themselves,
be like,
they'll be like, you right, S.A., go home.
you know what? Go,
You know, you make them feel good about themselves.
pendejo. Go ahead, pendejo.
Make them feel good about themselves. I'm like, I like Latin people. Latin people tip like a motherfucker, dude. I don't know if you ever been to Latin people. Ooh wee.
Man, they chicks and all that.
The thing about Latin girls is they don't age well.
It's like Italian women looking.
When they go young, old.
Yeah,
they get really old quick.
They get to like 30, and then they turn into that fucking grandmother on the fucking bolognese sauce packet.
Like Latin girls, from my experience, they get shorter and wider.
They get shorter and wider.
They do. Like most like old Latin women are like short, fat things.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm just picturing Family Guy's
the
cleaner.
Every little that's the stereotype,
the maid,
kind of like.
I mean, like, there's more Latins around me than there are black people at this point, and like it's universal. I don't even know if it's a stereotype almost.
Yeah,
it might be just Southern living.
Well, there's growing up on 7th Street, there's a really big difference between Mexican people and Puerto Rican people. They do not like each other.
Oh yeah, they don't call a Mexican Puerto Rican or a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, like it's Cinco de Mayo today actually, and I remember like there would always be Mexican flags down the street, like out. They would just put it out their back window, and then my Puerto Rican friends like fuck you. They would like say fuck you, and then they would call the Mexican people Puerto Rican just to fuck with them and get them mad, and they would get really angry. And the funny thing is about like half my 7th Street friends are both Puerto Rican and Mexican. Like they got that mixed, but they would claim Puerto Rican. They wouldn't claim that they were Mexican.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that also. Don't call like an African Jamaican either, or like a Jamaican African, or like.
Well, none of them are really African. I mean, like, what if a black guy from United Kingdom is he African American?
No, we don't.
America.
Well, you're calling black people, right?
No, but I'm saying I'm talking about.
There are some like the actual smaller communities differentiate more than anybody else does. So like they'll see themselves as they call it Caribbean black. So they come from Jamaica, Saint Lucia, or that part of the world, or they'll like if you call like Nigerian black, if you call them Kenyan or something, they like. But we don't do that in England. Like we're not like, oh, you're obviously from this place.
You're Yorkshire black.
Yeah.
I'm talking about authentic African, not like African.
I've never met an authentic.
I don't know if you know this, John, but Africa's a pretty big place. It's a lot of different countries. They get really pissed off. I'm joking.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, like, don't call somebody the wrong nationality. Even like Japanese and Chinese.
I was going to mention that. They fucking hate that. I've got Korean.
Oh, I think that's probably the worst one.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell them apart, dude. It's so hard.
No, it's
not.
Between Koreans and Japanese, it's not that difficult. And also, China's so big. Like China have like 5 main like racial groups that are all slightly different, and there's racism in China in between those 5 different like main groups. But like the 2 main ones that you don't want to get wrong, don't call a Korean a Japanese, because Korea was like part of Japan's empire. And if you think the Japanese like treatment of soldiers during World War II in the prison camps was bad,
yeah.
You don't fucking want to believe what they did to Korea. Like that.
Sure, we're
like,
Manchurian China.
It's worse than that. The Koreans hate the Japanese so much that when they forced the Japanese out, the Korean language, like they've got like glyphs like the rest of them do, kanji like the Japanese. The kanji is the Japanese word for it. Like they invented their own language. That's how little they wanted to do with the Japanese. Yeah, that's how not Japanese they wanted to be. They created their own language, and this is recent.
Yeah, they put pictures of the emperor in the toilet so they could piss on his face.
Do not call
Bruce Lee used to point that shit out, like the Chinese and the Japanese, in like a lot of his movies, like like the racism that they used to treat towards the Chinese.
Well, Bruce Lee was a mix.
Yeah, he's from Hong Kong, so I think I'm correct in saying that he's from Hong Kong. So he's even technically he's Chinese, but it was under Britain's control at that time, Hong Kong. So
didn't he have like a white mother and like a father?
He's mixed race. I don't know how far mixed race he is.
I don't know. I know he repped that Chinese shit.
I got a question. A lot of people, like, whenever there's any sporting event, they say that I look like somebody. They have a screenshot, and it's just a white guy with a beard.
Yeah.
And they say it looks exactly like me. I'm like, I can kind of see, like, maybe one feature, but not really. I wonder if that's the same with us and looking at Asian people, because I think a lot of them do look very, very similar. And I was discussing this with Kelly, and I think it's just because I didn't grow up with them, because the same features that people see that are similar, just because I'm white and have a beard and maybe bushy eyebrows from these athletes, I see, like, I don't look anything like them. But let me try to find this picture, because there's a League of Legends pro team that I think half the people look exactly the same. I gotta find this. I swear.
Racist hour with White Boy 7th Street.
Have you ever been racist before? Well, log into the podcast, and White Boy 7th Street will lead you to the way.
I was brought up to be a racist. I just couldn't do it.
You reached the age of reason early, Geordie.
How did you get brought up? Like, what do you mean?
I was brought up to, my grandpa. I was raised by my grandparents, and they were old heads, and they used terms like nigger with an R and stuff like that. And we had a dog named Nigger, like he was like a Rottweiler.
Oh my god!
And it's like, like I was brought up to be a racist, and it's like
I'd have shot your dog. Motherfucker named Nigger.
And he was a black Rottweiler. It was like,
oh my god!
And like, it just never stuck. I mean, I was brought up to be a Bible thumping racist, and like from an early age, I questioned things like religion and like racist. I'm like, most of my friends at school are black,
Yeah.
And it's like, why do I have to hate this person? He didn't do nothing to me.
I think that's what it's about. What I think it is truly is I think America's such a large country that really, let's be real, like most of the black Americans live in urban areas around cities, right? There are black people that live in the South in more rural areas, but most of the 9% or whatever it is, 10%, 9% of the population that is black lives in urban areas. And I think that America's so big that people go their entire lives without actually ever meeting a black person having a conversation. Like, I think that's true.
How's that true when public schools exist? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because where I'm from. And
some people live isolated, though, to be honest.
How many black people do you think there are hanging out in Colorado? Well, now that they've... I was going to make a race joke about weed being legal, but, aside from that...
There's been a mass...
like
might as well call them
Hampshire.
refugees now.
Yeah, yeah, places like that, like Rhode Island.
Like, I know when I went to visit my dad, he lived in a little city called Butler, just north of Milwaukee. Like, I literally only seen one black person in that town, like, and I visited him a lot. And there's only like one black person I seen, and then I would go up north, even further north in Wisconsin, and there was
black
none.
Canadians. Like, how many black Canadians do you know?
There's a lot, I think.
Black Canadians?
Yeah, like it seems like black people don't like cold weather.
Wasn't Bash from there?
Yeah.
Remember him?
He's from Toronto.
He works at Twitch now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And Bash was I like Bash.
Yeah, I like Bash. It was like
he's one of my good YouTube friends.
Canada has like the British legacy as well. So anywhere that Britain has been, there will be black people.
Now, you were saying like a lot of people don't ever meet a black person in their life. Now, do you think people think profiling? Well, I can't say this word.
Profiling.
There you go. Profiling. I wanted to say it. Profiling. Okay. I think does it work? Is it like a legit tactic? Because I think it does. Like you said, the person
on the late night.
Like the person with the biker tattoos and the big earrings and like a nose gash. Like I would profile him and say, okay, this there's certain things about this guy that's different than other people just because his looks. And I think a lot of people have like all these stories about black people that they're so bad and this and that, and like white people talk amongst each other about black people without ever meeting one, and then they have this assumption that they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely part of it.
Like you could profile me to stay away from me. Like I don't give a fuck if you see me walking and you're scared of me and you run away. I don't give a fuck. But if you profile me to hurt me, now that's different. Like, oh, he might do something, so I'm gonna shoot him first. Like, all right, now that's when you're crossing the line. But if you want to be a pussy and run away, or hold your pocketbook, or lock your doors, or whatever, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, it's funny how it happens. I just think it's because that like Geordie said, like what defeated racism for him, like what allowed him to counter his family programming, let's put it that way, was proximity to black people, black kids that he was friends with. So that countered the programming, right? So reality always trumps theory. So the reality was that he had black friends that he identified with and saw as kin. You are close to me. I associate.
Yeah.
I like you. I treat you with respect. You are a friend to me. And he saw past the color. Now that's how you defeat racism. I think it's proven that that's true. But like I said, I think there are massive parts of America where that not only where that doesn't happen, but there's no chance for it to happen actually, because outside of the urban like seaboard cities, the coasts, and a few major cities in the center and in the south, like there aren't black people because it's only 9% of the population. So there's huge parts of the country where people don't get to familiarize themselves with black people at all, or Latin people, or whatever other there
is. They go off to college or something like that. Yeah, they go off to
college and whatever, stuff like that.
Isn't it crazy how the human mind is like that? Because I have anxiety. Like, sometimes just going outside to throw out garbage, I'm like, is the neighbor going to be there? Are they going to talk to me? Are they going to ask me questions about this and that?
I hate that, too.
And it's like, what the fuck? Why am I thinking? I'm just going outside to throw out garbage, and I take, like, an extra
you stressing about that shit? Try being me. Try being 400 pounds and going anywhere. Okay, half the motherfuckers are just looking at you, just staring at you. Most of them, and some of them will be bold enough to ask you, like, "How'd you get this big?"
Somebody asked you that?
Almost every time I go out.
You should say it's proportional to my dick or something.
I always like it's a gas tank for a love machine.
I have to say, I do get the. I tell you what's really weird. When I first shaved my head, I got a lot of guys whose hair was thinning or whatever coming up and talking to me, like, "What made you shave your head?" I was like, "I just didn't want to be that guy." That guy. Exactly. I didn't want to be him, ever, right? So that's what happened. And like there'd be like this telling like smile on their face. They were like, "Well, you know why I'm asking the question." I'm like, "Yeah." So like how you appear does affect how people treat you. And back to White Boy's point about the anxiety. I think we're raised to fear an awful lot, actually. I think we're taught a lot by our society to be scared, actually. Like, I remember, like, my grandparents' generation being like, we didn't even lock the fucking doors.
Mm-hmm. My grandma told me stories.
We didn't even lock the fucking doors.
I don't lock my door. Fuck that noise.
You live in a rural area, though, right?
Yeah, if somebody wants to come to my house... If they're going to break into my house, I look at it like this. I'll lock my door if I leave the house. But for the most part, I'm realistic. If they're going to break into my house, they're going to do it whether the lock's there or not. I mean, I live in a double wide. A lock's there to keep an honest man out. That's all it's there for.
I lock
That's
my
a good
doors.
Phrase.
One day I was going to work and then I was like, oh, damn, I didn't lock my door. Like it's not like every day somebody just comes to your door like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like casing the joint. Yeah.
Fuck, it's locked again. Fuck! Like it's not like that.
Like the
happens.
dumbest criminal ever.
Like,
or the most
it's just
patient.
like, whatever, just lock your door. It's just like a...
I mean, like, if I lock my door, it's more there when I leave the house, and it's more there to, like, to be like, well, yeah, the door was locked. I didn't leave it unlocked, so it
Yeah,
takes
for
all the
insurance,
suspicion
right?
around. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
It does depend on where you live though, because in Springfield it's like right out of Philly. My girl, BMW, all this stuff, doesn't lock her car door. Sometimes her pocketbook is in there, and nothing happens. Trust me, if that was in Southwest Philly, BMW pocketbook in there, that shit is gone.
I like my car. I like my truck, but it's more habit than anything else.
Yeah, it's like a habit.
In Milwaukee,
But-
people are getting their cars stolen this winter for just like warming it up. Like a lot of cars, like 100 cars in a few months.
Damn, were they the same people doing that? Like a bandit? Like,
The motherfuckers could run or something.
I don't know.
damn.
I'm not sure. I remember I got my house broken into one time, or attempted to. I was like literally sleeping in my living room. This was after my mom died. I was trying to get all of her clothes and stuff out and like redo the house. So I was sleeping in the living room, and someone just kicked in my door, like with me in there. Thankfully, my little chain lock kept the door locked. And I'm just thinking, like, who would do that as I'm there in the middle of? It was like the middle of the day. They just go and kick in my door.
That guy's lucky that he didn't get in there. You'd have fucked him up.
I don't know, cause he destroyed
You
the
would
door.
have fucked him up.
How
I
did
had
he
a tomahawk.
How did he destroy the deadbolt, but not the little shitty ass chain on the
I don't
top?
know. I got a video of it on White Boy 7th Street 2. I want to look at that because
Man,
I just feel like someone
Wow.
was trying to murder me for like
let
for
that
some
happen
reason.
to me. I'd be laying on the couch. I'd be like, I'd wait for him to get in. I'm like, go ahead and finish. You done?
Come on in.
Oh, here I got the video
Get
right
out.
here. You can see the first few seconds. You can see the damage. I'll show the people too.
Damn.
Dude, you look young.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Do I got a beard? I got my little baby beard. I think I still have this T-shirt. I would sell T-shirts that were just text emotes because they were cheaper to sell because putting text on a T-shirt is a lot less inexpensive, or it's cheaper to do.
How much it cost to fix that door?
Oh, it's still kind of like that.
Oh, damn! You haven't fixed the damn door?
No, we fixed it a
You
little
gotta
bit.
put the whole foundation back on.
The wood is still like that. We put like something over it so it's like it
Why not
locks.
just not get a new frame?
Yeah, you gotta put the whole frame back on.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
like, but
take the wood off.
it's not that hard.
I don't know. I mean, it's all right. It's
I mean,
fine.
stuff like that destroys the resale value of a house. So
I mean, if I ever do fix. I mean, I'm fixing up the house little by little. It's mostly on the outside now, but my buddy is always coming to me with ideas how to fix
let
it.
somebody do that to my house. Ooh, you have a dead body laying in the door frame.
Yeah, that's bad. See, they're lucky you didn't have a weapon or something, because your
That would-
instinct would have made him shoot him. Like, seriously.
Like that wouldn't happen to White Boy today, because White Boy today got a shotgun.
Mm-hmm. I got
You'd be like-
crossbows. I got like 3 katana swords now.
Use the shotgun. All
You've
that
got
shit
the
Okay.
bullshit.
ultimate noob cannon. You've got the overpowered 870.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you OP.
I bought it because it was awesome in Black Ops 2.
I got an 870 3.5 inch.
And you know how to survive
Ultra
the
Express Magnum.
apocalypse.
See, just because of the game, I'd have to get a KSG.
Terrible though. They're cheap.
What was that Predator had? KSG, right?
Yeah, they're terrible, cheap plastic shotguns.
What happened to El Presidor's shotgun videos? I haven't seen one in a while. He was like in the forest, like every day for a week.
Him and that like one white dude that looks like
Or
he
6-0 or
El
something.
Presidor always has some weird white dude with him. I love it.
like a shady ass white dude you ever met in your life.
I would, you know what? If I lived in America and I lived in a city, I would. First, I'd learn how to use a gun, then I would own one. I would.
Prez was going to war with this dude named Horse 60 or something. Some dude, like some military dude. But he came to my channel one day. Like, I had no problem with him, nothing. And he said, you know what? I'm just reading it in, a different voice. He said, you know what? I don't like your videos. you put that echo on there. I can't hear what you're saying. Then you have music in the background. I'm like, what? What is this guy talking about? And then I went to one of his videos. Yo.
I got a little scared.
Then I went to one of his videos, and then he was like, I typed in, I said, I came to your channel thinking you were like good or something. I realized you sucked as much as I do. And then he made a video about me. It was like, Jive Turkey, you can fuck off and this and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this guy just crazy. But that's my story about that dude.
He's breaking into my house. I got 8 rounds.
What was that? A 40?
This is a World War II replica 1911.
Okay.
This is what I keep by my. This is what I keep by my bed.
What do you mean World War II replica? Like a remake?
Like in World War II, they had the Colt 45s, 1911. Yeah. This is a direct replica. This is actually what they would carry.
Yeah. I thought Billy D. Williams had Colt 45.
See, I'm just picturing World War II and that gun, and the setting is so freaking awesome. I wish Call of Duty would go back to it. I know we harped on this a lot.
This gun is still in production. This is a 1911.
Yeah.
They've been in production over 100 years.
I just like some dirt on that gun and some dirt on the guy's face.
Part of the reason why they were in service for such a long time is because they were so good. Right?
There's 7
I've
seven parts. There's 7 parts total.
I think that gun, the 1911, just hold it up for a moment. That to me looks like a modern pistol.
Yeah, it definitely does.
You've got to imagine that there's Germans running around in World War II with fucking Lugers that look like toy guns. That looks like a late 20th century pistol.
This pistol right here will fuck you up.
Do you think it worked? I know it didn't work as good as it does now back then.
It's the same design.
Yeah, that's the reason
I'm sure it's the same design, but you know, like
there's nothing different. You can't make a barrel more straight than they made it back then. I mean, like there's like free floating barrels. There's like the triggers are a little easier.
Yeah, like the hair triggers and shit. Like
I mean, but like for the most part, it's the same gun. You take a gun from 1911 when they first made it and they assassinated Franz Ferdinand to start World War I. This is the gun that started World War I. The guy who used one of these right here to shoot Franz Ferdinand in the back of the head. But you take that gun and you compare it to like a Kimber 1911 from 2015. The Kimber's going to be a little better.
Yeah.
But it's more about the skill of the user than anything.
See, right, I'm right, if I move to America and say I become a gun owner and I train myself, I don't train myself in panic mode to shoot accurately with a pistol. I trust myself with the overpowered noob cannon, the 870, to vaguely hit an area, right, and scare the shit out of somebody. Like, I trust myself way more with a shotgun.
Dude, a shotgun, you're not going to vaguely scare somebody with a shotgun, Eddie. It's not like video games. A shotgun will obliterate somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if I miss, that's what I mean.
You're not going to miss. You're not going to miss. Like, you see that wall back there? If I was to stand here and shoot at that wall, every inch of that wall would get hit. Like this.
I thought it was. I thought it was tighter packed than that.
It depends.
My 870, I have 3-inch double-aught buck, shoots 18 pellets. So it's eventually 18 It's 18 of these shot at the same time. It will obliterate anything that you hit.
And
no, but I'm saying like if I missed and I hit the wall beside them, like I didn't think they had that much spread.
Yeah, you're not.
It's got a huge spread.
Something's gonna hit them. Something's
like even if it's a little like 1 BB or whatever.
It's not
like
1 BB.
4 of them is gonna get them.
Those pellets are about the same velocity as a pistol round.
So essentially, even if I hit him with 4 out of the 18, I've shot him 4 times with a pistol.
Correct. You killed him.
Even if you go, that's the scariest fucking sound in the world.
Shotguns are close range masterpieces. Like they will fuck anything up in like a house setting.
It's basically a cannon, right?
It's basically a cannon. The bad thing about shotguns, they have no range. Like they have like
they
have more range than they have in Call of Duty.
Right, they do, but they're not like rifle range. Like
yeah.
If you got a slug,
and they kind of spread apart as they go out.
That's the reason it doesn't.
And they don't have the velocity of a pistol shot. They don't travel at the same feet per second.
Right.
So, but up
I
close,
still trust
you're
myself
done.
with shotgun more than a pistol. I think
You don't even have to aim. You don't have to aim. Just point in a general direction and pull the trigger.
Hip fire.
exactly.
Don't hit fire, especially with 3-inch. Don't hit fire.
Well, I'm used to PC FPS, so hip fire comes naturally to me.
Hip fire doesn't work.
Even with the shotgun?
It will work with a shotgun, but like
Yeah.
you could break your finger if you do it wrong.
I'm just picturing someone standing up with like the shotgun down here. I don't know. Hip
Here's
firing.
break your- You
That's
can't
just
own it.
stupid. Like,
What
I
gun?
don't know what'll happen.
What gun from any of the Call of Duty sounds the most like it does in real life?
The World War II, World at War sniper rifles.
I think a lot of the sniper rifles, World at War.
The World at War sniper rifles sounded just like they do in real life.
I don't know how the PTRS would sound because it's like gas powered or something.
Well, this is gas powered. Gas powered means they use the bullet, the gunpowder's gases to eject the cartridge and reload the next one.
Okay. The Springfield's an awesome weapon. I like the
But,
Springfield and the
But
Mosin.
gas powered means it's semi-automatic, pretty much, because it's powered by the gases that are created from the gunpowder expanding. But like the
Okay,
PTRS,
Yeah, wings
Yo,
with the knowledge, dropping that
The
knowledge.
Battlefield pistols sound. A lot of them sound real.
I don't know. This question is a little weird because when you shoot a gun, it's like BAM! Like it's really loud in
it's
your ear.
really loud and
And
numbs
then-
your ears.
And then
Loud
you're
as
shooting
fuck.
you can spray the MP40 like it's nothing. You can spray any gun. And if you did that in real life, it would be a lot louder. And
You wouldn't be able to sound whore afterwards.
Maybe that's why Big Dave leaves it out of Treyarch games.
Yeah, you'd have to have earplugs in and like a suppressor on to be able to shoot.
What if
the other
they
sound.
did that? What if they did that? You can't sound horror for 5 seconds after you're done shooting or something.
that'd be kind of cool.
I
like
know,
it.
yeah. Like,
Legitimate. You'd have to
then,
stay that ringing in your ear,
yeah.
and then
Yo,
then-
that's annoying.
That's more of a DayZ thing than a Call of Duty thing.
I could see it in
think.
Battlefield, though. I could see it in Battlefield, because I'd be far more suppressed by the sound of a gun than any annoying screen distortion bullshit that they give me in Battlefield games. I prefer it to be like when I fire my Scar H automatic, which kicks like a mule, I can't hear anything.
very loud. That's a very loud gun.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
the
can't.
Scar 8 shoots a 30 caliber round, which is, something like this. This is a 300 Win mag, so it's not as big as this, a little bit smaller, but it's essentially this size round.
It's a
compared
big
to
fucking round.
compared
does
to
it-
like the M16, which shoots this.
Okay, so what's the difference between an assault rifle, a battle rifle, and a carbine?
A battle rifle will use this. This is what
Right.
a battle rifle will use. Like an assault rifle will use this.
Right.
That looks like Mosin rounds and SKS rounds from
This
DayZ.
is a 5.56. This is what the M16 M4 uses.
That's exactly what is that. Okay, let me guess the one on the left. Is that a 7.62?
This is 7.62 by 30. This is a
Is
300.
that what an
That will
AK-47
fuck
would?
something up.
This right
What
here
would
would
it-
kill most things walking the planet Earth. This is what the Scar 8 shoots. This is what the M16 shoots.
So
Damn.
what does an AK fire?
It fires a round in between these two. It's a 7.62 by. This is by 54. I'm sorry, it's 54. AK is 7.62 by 30.
So it's
Which I don't
shorter,
have it-
less propellant.
I don't have an AK round right around me.
Wings, I saw your. Oh, go ahead.
So the heavier caliber are battle rifles.
Generally, battle rifles, things that are considered battle rifles are things that are good at range, like a Scar H or like a FAL. Big 30 caliber rifles.
Isn't the FAL fully auto in real life?
It is. The Scar's fully auto in real life, but you can't shoot them fully auto and be any kind of accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use them semi-automatic. Like the M14 is a 30 caliber. It shoots the 30-06, which I have some of those. I just don't have them right here. I just
I
got
find all this kind of
knives
stuff
and
fascinating.
guns.
Like, was most of like these? It's like with NATO standardization to simplify supply routes for NATO forces. Like they all adopted certain calibers.
I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, "Wings, you're up." But keep in mind, I haven't been into guns since in 5 years, so like some of my information might not be 100% accurate. Just disclaimer.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. You made a Facebook video about you shooting guns, and then you never got to do it. That
Well,
was a
what
Floyd
happened-
fight. That was that night.
That was that night. That was the Floyd fight. We went, and the place that we were going to go shooting was an outdoor shooting range, but we learned it was seasonal. I didn't realize it was seasonal, so we couldn't go.
Oh, that sucks.
Can't you just
Yep,
like
th-
shoot in the woods or something, or is that like
I'm
you could, but
I'm a responsible gun owner. You don't shoot, something like this with the houses around because you never.
Definitely.
well, not
I don't want to hit somebody. Like those go a long way.
You never know like what's walking down there. Like,
You just be a responsible gun owner. It might suck, but just be responsible.
have any one of you guys ever played Insurgency?
I've wanted to play it since you made the video about it.
Oh my God! It feels real. It sounds real. You gotta hear Wings. You gotta hear the sounds of those guns on that game, and like after you're shooting, like you can't go fully auto, like if you're using a SCAR, like forget about it, and then the smoke. Like that game is made good, man. I'm sorry I can't play it as much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty. It's like people are like, oh, you should survive the 50. Well, you should be running around with a 50 caliber sniper rifle anyway. Those are more for anti-vehicle than anything else.
Yeah,
Right.
they're called anti-material rifles for a reason.
It's nowhere near Call of Duty though.
I mean, usually, like sniper rifles shoot this round. The same round the assault rifles do. They just do it with a longer barrel.
Mm-hmm.
So they got more muzzle velocity, right?
No, it just more accurate because it moves less.
Accuracy, yeah.
The longer the barrel,
More accurate.
the less your actual shaking of your human hand matters. Like you shoot something like a pistol, like the small shakes that your hand make naturally will affect the trajectory of the round.
Yeah.
Or the longer the barrel, the less your trajectory gets influenced.
I like that about CS:GO. Like you can't spray in that game. You get punished for doing it.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
it's kinda
Battlefield, you get
realistic.
punished for spraying too.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Not
Battlefield's pretty
hardline.
easy.
Battlefield
pretty easy.
3. Battlefield 3. You get
And
punished.
4 you get punished as well.
For certain weapons. You
What's your favorite-
You
what's your
do in
favorite
all
gun
of them, but it's not how it should be. It's definitely not how it should be. Insurgency, forget about it.
Well, Arma 3, forget about spraying.
Yeah, I heard people were recommending that to me also.
I got Arma 3.
Can you explain to me then why the Star AUG is a light machine gun in Modern Warfare 2 and an assault rifle in Black Ops 1?
The Steyr AUG.
Yeah,
There's different variations. There's the HDR.
Right.
There's the heavy.
Wow, I did it at 50. It was at 59 minutes, and then it's at an hour and 59 minutes for
Wow.
both of them. That's weird.
I'm sorry about
Wow.
dropping. I'm not doing
That's
it on
okay.
purpose.
No, we know, dude. No worries. So start
That's
again
okay,
from
homie.
the AUG. There's different versions of the AUG.
Yeah, that's just a base of what kind of magazine that you put with it. A high capacity magazine, a different barrel. You can change 2 or 3 things. And like most modern assault rifles are they're very versatile. Like the ACR is a really good one. Like for example, the Modern Warfare 2 ACR is a 5.56 round, and then you can just switch the barrel out, and you have the Modern Warfare 3 ACR, which is the 6.8 Grendel. Which is a much bigger, heavier round. So it's going to make it perform differently. And to be perfectly honest, ACR is one of the best shooting guns I've ever shot. I had a chance to shoot one with Kyle.
I
They
never
look
shot an
cool as
assault
fuck,
rifle.
but the ACR
fully automatic.
Everyone hates the ACR because of Modern Warfare 3.
It is. It's like money. It's like it feels good. It feels right there up there with sex.
I've heard that. I mean, I saw Kyle's video where he shot the Chris Vector. I'm sorry, but the Vector is a cool looking gun.
It's a cool
It's
looking
just
gun,
cool.
but it's worn with problems. I think it has overheating problems, if I remember correct.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that.
I agree, Wings. I shot I shot at Kyle's house UMP fully automatic, I think.
Yeah,
UMP 45. That was awesome.
it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
It's
It's
been
right
a while
up there
since
with
I
pussy.
shot.
It's
It's
2 of
right
them,
up
right? Two umps.
Yeah, there's a UMP 45, and
And
then
And there's
Nine.
a 9mm one, UMP 9.
I'm not sure which one I shot, but I did it all. I just
Well,
Is it-
pulled my finger on the
The
trigger. and just
45,
held.
the 45 probably would
This
be
is 45.
way tougher to shoot. than the
Isn't
9.
that one of the only SMGs that Kyle actually likes is the UMP because he thinks they're kind of shit. I saw a video where he was like, I don't like submachine guns, but the UMP-45 is the only one that I actually like.
The reason submachine guns are terrible is because they're more personal defense weapons than they are actual guns. Like, realistically, it's a machine gun that shoots a pistol round. So, when you get into an area outside of a building, it's useless. You're shooting a pistol that has a lot of you're shooting a high-capacity pistol at that point.
Yeah.
It's in like assault rifles like the F2000, the Steyr AUG, those bullpup assault rifles. They're much better suited for doing like interior fighting and then going outside and you still have a rifle barrel and able to hit things reliably at a distance. Whereas a submachine gun you can't. And this is real life applications, not video games.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to need to use them more dexterously, aren't you?
Well, you got to use them in different. They adapt to situations better. Like if you're like a SWAT team and you're going to raid somebody's house, yeah, MP5 is a good choice because it's all interior fighting. But if you're a SWAT team and you got to go fight a hostage situation at a bank, you're not going to use an MP5. You're going to use an assault rifle because you don't know if you're going to be fighting combatants on the roof. You don't know if you had to make sure. Yeah, outside. Yeah, you want something that's could reliably hit people from a distance.
So why aren't I'm completely nerding out here, but why hasn't the bullpup design been adopted across the board? Does it have its own problems?
No. The reason it hasn't been adopted across the board is money.
They're more expensive to make.
No, they're not more expensive to make. It's just that there's so many M4s and M16s floating around the world that it would be expensive to replace them all.
Right. So the bullpup is an improved design.
It is an improved design. You don't see very many assault rifles without the bullpup design coming out anymore.
Right.
Because it keeps a shorter distance so you can go around corners.
Yeah.
But you keep full barrel retention.
Cut
so you
the
have
pie.
your
Cut the pie so you can cut the pie.
basically. Because going around corners in real life is where you're most likely going to get shot because people will ambush you.
Yeah.
And you don't want a long barrel weapon that you have to like drag. You want to be able to quickly
see in real life.
Yeah.
In real life, everyone be Seiken, right? Everyone be Seiken, mad raging you up, waiting for you to come around that corner with an ambush.
And everyone
aiming at
sees
that
each
doorway.
other at the same time if you know it's no latency or anything.
Yeah, zero lag. We're fighting on land, boys.
Yeah.
Yo,
but that's the reasons though.
What if a cop be like, "Oh, I got shot because he was lagging"? If I hear somebody say that, I remember one time my girl was drunk, like she went out with her friends and she came home. I told her she was lagging. Yo, she was like, "What?" I said
the guy got shot in the back of Charleston could technically claim lag.
Yeah.
Well, the taser definitely lagged.
Yeah.
Yo, I was like, yo, why are you coming in here lagging like that? Yo, she was like, what? Then she was drunk already. She didn't know what the fuck was going on.
So what would happen if I fired an Accuracy International L18 at close range to somebody?
Nothing different. Like the L18, you'd actually do less damage up close than you would at say 100 yards out because it takes a minute for the velocity to pick up on like a rifle like that. It would still kill the fuck out of them. But
just a little less.
The damage is going to be any less. Like say you say L18 versus like a Scar H, and you both shoot a guy in the shoulder, the damage would almost be virtually the same.
But the L18 further away would be worse.
It would be worse because it would pick the muzzle velocity up. It wouldn't be worse damage, but it would. You could hit them more reliably. And it holds the damage pattern worse. And a thing called core locks. These are ballistic tips. I don't have any core locks right at me. Like most people shoot full metal jacket military, so it's going to go straight through you regardless. Where versus like a core lock would take like 5 inches of meat out of you, because the core lock hits and it like flattens out and creates like a dime size object that hits you compared to like
and push.
Yeah.
Why is it such a big deal for the bullet to go through you? Just because all the scraps aren't inside of you?
Because it's shards of metal inside of you that can constantly move and shift while you move and continually cut you and cut arteries and things like that. If it goes clean through, it's easier to treat.
Yeah.
All right, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why rounds like the M16 round is very, very deadly because they defragment. They shatter apart and go all in your body.
I would just hate to get, I mean, obviously, but shot in like the stomach. I'm just picturing all the little frags and all the different organs.
There's that one
that's
picture I
attacking.
think where a guy got shot in his shoulder and like one of the fragments like went up his neck and ended up in his brain.
I got grazed in the head with a 45.
What?
Grazed
Yeah.
in the head. Tell us this story, Jive.
I don't really want to talk about it, but I did. I got grazed in the head. I'm a lucky motherfucker, man. I did a commentary about it.
That
It's
motherfucker
called
can't-
"Why Didn't That Bullet Hit Me?"
It's like
I did a
either that
video.
motherfucker couldn't shoot or he got lucky.
He shot a girl. She died.
Oh, sorry, dude. I didn't...
I'm sure the same bullet. It was at like a block party or whatever. That same bullet went through and hit her in the face. Like I thought she didn't die, but I found
He
out
wasn't
she
shooting at
died.
you. He was shooting at the girl.
He was shooting. He was shooting at
Or
us.
he's shooting at a group.
He was shooting at us, but unsuccessful.
My friend, like I was talking about my 7th Street friends, they were all hanging out at on the porch, and somebody got shot in the ass. Like it just grazed his ass, and it I don't know. I found that pretty lucky. Just when a bullet just touches you, like it either misses,
Like
hits you,
I definitely felt it.
but when it touches, that's like I don't know. I don't know. Luck, magic, God, something when it just
Bad
touches.
accuracy.
Bad accuracy. There, wings with the
Guns
line.
are hard to shoot. Guns are not easy. Like you see somebody that's a good shot like Kyle, you should be thoroughly impressed because it's not easy.
What
Even
about
with like
the guys that hold the gun sideways?
those are bad shots usually.
It's proven that they don't hit anything, isn't it? I think they did tests where, like,
Well, there's always a chance to hit something
If you're
regardless.
close, if you're like real close, maybe, but not at no range. That shit'll be horrible.
It's just the sights. Use the sights. Like you want to use
Yeah.
these sights and line it up with the front post, and when it's flush, that means the gun's 100% straight.
Because holding the gun this way is more stable than aiming this way. It's like your wrist could just go any fucking way and shit
Well,
when you
yeah.
shoot.
Shiv, I got a question, and I don't know if you want to talk about it. Like, when you got shot at, was there like a whistling?
I
Like,
heard.
could you hear-
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I almost got shot one time.
Yes, I
man.
heard like it's.
I heard I heard that whistle one time. It wasn't at like we were down the block, and what happened? I think
Eddie's
we were-
over there. Well, at the UK, we have paintballs.
my mate shot at by nothing other than harsh language.
We were, the older friends were like, they were doing something. Like, they were drunk in the middle of the road, spitting at cars. I think one of the cars,
Cars.
yeah, throwing bottles at the cars. Like, and then one of the van stopped, and then they had a little confrontation. I think they fought. The van eventually came back the next day, and then we were going like away because the older brothers were like, get out of here. It's the van again. We were going away to my house, and I heard that little whistling sound. They like shot from the opposite side of the block, and yeah, I heard a little whistle.
Yeah, you can hear it. Definitely. It's fast, but you hear it.
Like almost like a Nerf ball. You ever have those Nerf footballs?
The whistles.
Yeah, a little bit like that, but not.
It's
Yeah,
way
that's,
more
that's my
intimidating
next. That's
than
my
that.
next YouTube video. I was gonna get a super soaker, fill it with piss, and just shoot people with it. And name the video "Fat Guy Shoots Guy with Piss."
Prank, prank goes wrong
Prank.
in the
Call it a
hood.
prank. Call it a prank. Million view video. I'm so creative.
Prank. It's a prank. And then when they get mad at you, say it's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank.
It's
a prank.
apple juice. It's apple juice.
Why does it stink?
Camera right there.
Should we read some iTunes reviews?
Let's.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. We missed last week. I do thank you guys for rating us on iTunes. You can watch the show on the go if you can't check it on Jordy's channel or my channel. You search the podcast show, one word, and we got a lot of ratings. We got almost 200, so that's pretty. I think that's why we were probably ranked on the
Podbean.
Yeah, we're on the front page, and it's directly because of you guys. We have 184 5 stars. We have 2 1-stars. We have 1 2-star rating and a 4-star rating. So
Who the fuck voted a 1-star, man?
Hey,
What's wrong with them?
I don't know. There's 2 of those. Maybe they can meet up.
you know we got guns and shit over here.
Yeah. Those are the guys in the comment section who are like, is it just me or is the black guy's voice annoying? Yes, it's just you.
Those are the guys who said Eddie said Pacquiao is older than Mayweather. Eddie didn't say Pacquiao was older than
We forgot to
Mayweather.
talk about
He
that.
said Pacquiao was older, as in he's a person. Last week he was younger. He was 7 days younger. Now he's older.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't
what
say he
he
was older
meant.
than Mayweather.
Oh my God! I'm reading the chat. He's not older than Mayweather, dumbass. Did he say Mayweather? He just said he's older. He didn't say he was an older person. He said he was older.
Matter of fact,
That's it.
I've lost more money to Floyd Mayweather than I have criminals.
You rented the fight?
Me and my buddy, we went half and half on the fight.
Okay.
How much was it?
It was $100.
A bean,
I
yeah.
spent 50. He spent 50.
Jesus.
I want to draw attention just quickly before we do the iTunes reviews that Geordie Jordan said of the Mayweather Pacquiao fight that he found the fight boring because Mayweather camped his way to victory.
He did. He
This
did
was a
get his way
big-
to victory.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I've never seen a Mayweather fight in my life. This is my first one. The hype got me. I'm like, I really want to see this fight. I didn't plan on buying it, but I went to my buddy's house to shoot guns. He's like, man, I really want to see this Pacquiao fight. I was like, me too. He goes, we should buy it. And at that time, he had food cooked, he had barbecue, he had pizza ordered. I'm like, yeah, I'll spend $50. It's an event. It's something to do. We're hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever. We're down.
People don't realize Mayweather. I hate like you said that was your first time seeing him fight,
Yeah.
right? That's reasonable. I hate when a motherfucker seen Mayweather fight before. Mayweather is a quick guy. Like, you're not gonna hit him. You're not gonna hit him that many times. You're not. You're just not. And then he hits you, and
Well, that's
then
'cause he hugs
goes
you.
back into defense.
As soon as you can hit him, he hugs you.
Every boxer does that when they get too much pressure on them. When they get too much pressure on them, they just grab you. The reason he kept holding Pacquiao by his head is because Pacquiao, when he attacks, he gets low and go in and puts his head down, which is, referees don't like that either. So that's why they was letting Mayweather get away with a lot of this.
Mayweather
Holding like this is
Mayweather
like
would
regular.
plug and then get kidney shots in. Like he just scored
Pacquiao was doing that too at first, and then Mayweather since Pacquiao was doing that, Mayweather was doing that back. But that's whatever. But you're not gonna see Mayweather fight and then after that say, "Oh man, I can't believe this." Like, you saw him fight before. That's how he fight.
I got respect for the way he fights, but I've said this on the stream the other day. Like, if you're in a $400 million prize fight, at least attempt to make it entertaining. I understand what you're doing is you're playing to win. At least fall down. Just trip on your own feet. I don't give a shit. Do something.
So you're saying that hype is more entertaining than hard-nosed pursuit of victory.
But what do you guys have to say about Pacquiao's performance? Y'all acting like he landed punches, or I think Mayweather threw more punches than him
Mayweather technically threw more punches, but the punches Mayweather were throwing
and landed more punches.
I understand, but let me say this: the punches that Mayweather threw were point punches. They weren't there to do damage. They weren't there to actually win the fight. They were there to win the round.
They hit him in his face, right?
Well, some of them did. Like he made, like watching the fight, most of Mayweather's punches hit him in the arms or the side of the bicep. He's just keeping them off, keeping them off.
Those don't count.
Those do count.
No, they don't.
They do total punches thrown. There's jab punches.
Total punches thrown.
There's
but
jab
landed.
punches, and then there's power punches. And
Yeah,
there's
but
total
those
punches.
don't count as landed punches.
those count as landed punches. Those are called jabs. Like power punches were like ones that hit the face.
This is a jab.
You know, that's what the majority of Mayweather's punches were. He did a lot of count.
Look, this is a jab, right?
Yeah.
I threw 3 jabs right there. You knocked 3 of them down. They count as a punch thrown. This is a jab landed. If it hit you in your face, that's what counts. If he blocked the 3 that I threw, those don't count.
What if you jab and you hit the chest? Does that count?
Or the arm? Like, what if you hit the arm?
No, the arm, that doesn't count. If I just jab you, yeah, that counts. That counts. That counts as like a body shot. But if you hit my arm and then it hit your chest, I don't think they count that. I know
going by the scoring system I seen, like it said jabs and the total number of jabs thrown, and it said power punches and total number of power punches thrown.
Yeah.
And then it did total, so they counted everything he threw. He just missed.
Yeah, but when they're talking about a points decision, that's punches landed.
They're based it off punches landed, right? So if you hit a guy in his arm and that counts as a punch landed,
it doesn't though. That's what Jive's saying. In the rules, it doesn't
count.
It counts. They count it. They collate the stats of all the punches thrown and shit. But
Yeah.
only there's a scoring zone on the body, isn't there?
regardless, the point is the same. He weren't throwing punches to try to knock him out. He weren't playing for a knockout. He was playing for round wins.
But that's I think what Jive's saying is that
like
yeah,
that.
he
That's what I'm
never
saying.
fought like that. Yeah,
Like you said, that was your first time.
and
watching that.
like round 6 is when Pacquiao started slipping. Like he started losing all the rounds, and like that's when Pacquiao when I was looking, I even talked to my buddy. I'm like, Pacquiao realized he's not going to get knocked out because he's not going to go for a knockout on him. So Pacquiao got a lot more aggressive to try to get him in the corner, but he just missed a lot. Floyd so quick.
I feel like those later rounds, Pacquiao wasn't doing much. He started off pretty good. I think he won 2 of the first 4 rounds or something like that.
They were trading rounds till about the 6th. They were trading rounds till about the 6th.
No. Pacquiao won like 4 rounds of the whole fight.
Yeah, but they were trading rounds till about the 6th round, and Floyd won every round after the 6th.
Yeah, in the beginning, Pacquiao didn't do what he needed to do to beat him. I thought he finally got this.
Way more punches.
Yeah, I heard like he's supposed to throw 100 punches. He was throwing like 30.
Yeah, like he was supposed to throw way more punches, but his confidence, I'm not gonna be able to hit this guy. Like I'm telling you, that is in a boxer's head when he's fighting. Like he comes out, then he keeps missing and he keeps missing, and then when he finally get a chance, Floyd grabs him.
Or the dirty element of this. It is boxing after all. Like it's a $400 million fight. You fight me, you guarantee my legacy. You ain't gonna get knocked out. I ain't gonna make you look like a chump. It's just a free whatever amount of money. And that's why a boxer who's known for throwing way more punches doesn't throw as many as he normally would, because he's not actually trying to beat him.
Did they have a rematch?
I doubt Pacquiao would do that.
No, if Pacquiao won, Mayweather had a rematch in the contract, but since Mayweather won, Pacquiao didn't get a rematch.
I thought I saw something on
That's what
Twitter.
I'm saying, man. Like something like boxing is one-on-one sports are way more susceptible to fixing than anything else.
Yeah.
Like team sports are much harder to rig, even though it does happen. Like individuals in a team or referees, that's usually how team sports are rigged. But like individual sports, like at the end of the day, like you can make an assessment as to whether someone with Pacquiao's character would throw a fight for however many millions of dollars or whatever, build up the hype machine. It's going to be the biggest fight in the world. You're not going to lose looking like a chump. You're not going to. I'm certainly not going to. You're not going to get knocked out or anything like that. I'm just like.
Yeah,
and esports. You guys
wanted to win that fight.
There's so much esports betting now, and the esports athletes could easily rig everything.
They have.
They could make so much money.
Banned.
Yeah,
they have. Yeah, no. Most of the North American talent. This happened about 4 months ago. Some of the biggest names in North American CS:GO got caught in, because there's a lot of betting for skins in the game that are worth real money. They got caught orchestrating throwing games for skins that they could sell for thousands of dollars. and they were banned. Valve said, well, they weren't banned, but Valve said we're refusing to work with them. This is Valve. They're not allowed to play any Valve-sponsored tournaments. So the rest of the tournaments have followed suit. No, they're effectively banned indefinitely for match fixing, for throwing for skins. There was a big controversy in North America.
But like, it's fantasy football, you guys heard of DraftKings and the week-to-week fantasy football leagues, and they're doing that for everything now. So you don't have to throw the match, but if you get 10 more assists, that means your value goes up like tenfold, and you could orchestrate little things like that where you're feeding the kills to somebody so they get more points. And so how it works is you get like $40,000 to draft your team. Say there's 4 people. Wings would be obviously worth like $30,000, right? Because he's a beast. So like Wings is guaranteed pretty much to do good, or I don't know if I'm explaining this right. But basically, if you draft me for $2,000 and I score what Wings scores usually in a fantasy football matchup, that means my value is insane. Like I'm performing really great. So there's little things that they could. Let's start an esports team and make some money off of this.
Why not?
Yeah.
iTunes reviews, sponsored by White Boy 7th Street.
Signs up to fight Pacquiao, runs a marathon. I don't know. I understand. I love the tactical. I would like to see Mayweather fight again. To be perfectly honest, I just wouldn't want to pay for it.
Oh yeah, get it online.
Floyd Mayweather might have made me a fan of him, but I was disappointed that I paid for that match that I saw.
UFC is so much better.
If you think this Mayweather is quick, oh my God, you should have saw him like 10 years ago, dude.
But like I can see what he's doing right now. Like he said, he's going to win the next fight against somebody that's yet to be named. It's probably going to be a jobber, whatever. Just somebody.
I heard, I was driving, and then I heard he might give him a rematch or something.
But like, but here's the thing: like he's got a fight in September coming up. Then he's 49-0. That's tied with the best record in boxing history. Like, so he's going to retire for 6 months after that, and he's going to come back and have 50-0 fight for another $400 million. Mark my words on it.
So you think he's got to retire, give the belt to someone else, take the belt back?
No,
and then retire again?
The belt don't mean shit. The belt's worthless. He's in it for the money.
I know, but
the belt, the belt.
But for the storyline, like,
I'm just saying
he's getting back the belt.
He's going to vacate the champion.
He's going to vacate the championship, be 49-0, come back and be like, "This is 50-0. This makes him the greatest boxer of all time." Pay-per-view for another $400 million.
I love how he says, "I want to thank the pay-per-view." He always says that. I love it. Yeah. I want to thank the fans, everybody who's ordered pay-per-view.
iTunes reviews, dude.
Let's get it done. All right.
He is Money Mayweather.
Jordan Fan 88. I love the podcast show. It's my favorite podcast. I love the group. I think the combination is really good. I can't wait for the future of the show. And I would also love to see some guests on the show and prank calls. So I read this for the prank call portion of this. Will we ever do prank calls on the show?
Yes, I definitely want to do that. But how would we get the feed into the stream?
The way you do that best is like you just go off camera and record prank calls, and then in the stream we'll edit in the best prank calls.
Okay. That seems like
so you don't have dead air.
Because I remember watching PK. There was a lot of like looking for the show, and then it was just like answering machines.
But how would we implement it into our Skype call?
Like we can call people through Skype. Is that what you mean, or like how would we?
Yeah,
yes, we can, but like
it won't be live. Like we'll do the show, and then we're going to do prank calls in this section. Then like record prank calls with all of us here, and then only take the best ones and put it into the show after the fact.
Yeah, but how would we do it? We're going to do it through Skype?
Right.
Or Google Hangout.
Or Google Hangout.
Whatever works. Probably Skype.
Probably Skype. I got Skype Premium. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. We have to pay for like premium or something.
I got an idea. Everybody, if you want to leave a review on iTunes, give us prank call, like suggestions, ideas. Like, do you want us to call Toys R Us? Do you want us to call Walmart? Do you want us to call Craigslist? Like, just give whatever idea. Give us little things that we can look at for inspiration.
I just thought of an idea. I don't know if this would work. I could call an American police station and report a crime, but I'm in England and I want them to come and help me.
I was thinking you got to swat somebody. I was like, don't do
No,
that.
no. He'd be like, I've just been assaulted. Can you help me? Sure, where are you? Oxford Street, London.
I can't wait till they start telling, like, what's your insurance company? How you like to pay?
All right, let's get another one. Florals. This is a question for me. White boy, what is your favorite food to eat while stoned?
Pizza.
Yeah, but it doesn't change too much from like last week's episode. We were talking about eating. It usually when I smoke, it like gets my mouth dry, and I want to drink something that's really good, like juice. Like I love juice. I love drinking some juice. I don't know if anyone else wants to answer. Probably, I don't know.
All right.
Gators, hey guys, love the podcast. I've been a Substance White Boy since 1,000 subs. Isn't that weird? Hold on, does anyone else get these comments? Like, I've been a fan since, I've literally got 2,000 comments about being one of the first 1,000 subs. Do you guys get that at all?
Yeah.
I get it.
I only got like 70,000, so.
You've got more than that, Joe.
Yeah, but only like 5,000 of them work, so. It's been working better since I unlinked my old Google Plus. I deleted an old Google Plus and linked my channel to another Google Plus. So that's why my channel isn't the same anymore. If y'all notice, like it's not Jive Turkey 600 anymore.
What is it?
But it carried my channel over to another name. It's called Jive Turkey Gaming now.
Okay. Yeah, I changed that. I tried to make it to White Boy 7th Street and no, I changed it to White Boy. I don't know. I changed Google Plus and YouTube.
Yeah, but your actual URL
is the same.
Is the same. But
your URL
mine is different now.
And you kept all the subs from before?
Yes, and I kept my subs and all that stuff. I might have lost a couple, but it seems like my sub box works a little better.
Do you notice this on Twitter? Like World Star Hip Hop Fan or like Funny Daily Robin Williams picks, I don't know, like shit like that. They will change their Twitter URL to like it'll be like I Like Girls Daily, and then the next day after gaining all those followers, they switch it to like Uber Facts or top 10 facts of the day. Then they switch it to another like category. They do that a lot.
People do that on Instagram. Like they'll be like, girls with big butts, girls with big butts. Then you follow them, and then not me, but you'll follow them, and then like two weeks later they get all these followers, and then his name is Mark Richardson, and it's a regular guy. Like they're like, how the fuck am I following this dude? Like,
hello, Mark.
yeah, like people got all kinds of scams to get followers.
So Gators concludes the question with, will you ever play with fans in game? We were actually talking about this before the show. We're trying to set up a Patreon. We're not going to launch it yet, but we're still trying to figure out benefits and stuff. But yeah, we will do that. I think with us playing a lot with each other, no homo.
Pause.
Jive, of course. Yeah, we will. We're working on it. We started gaming with each other now, and the next step is obviously integrating fans.
I never understood why people wanted to do that. Like, you know, open lobbies back in the day. Like, let's have open lobbies. Like, I've ran one of these things, and like, in like a 5-hour period, the most you can get like 200 people in there, 200 different people.
And it's so hard to invite
and
people.
You can't interact with all of them because you're pretty much playing one game and throwing them away. Like, all right, there's your game. We gotta get more people in here.
Yeah, but
it's a terrible experience.
I think people just like hanging out, dude. I think that's what it is.
I mean, like, you want to hang out with me and play games with me? Donate to Twitch. Like, I'm more likely to put you on my things if like you've helped me out in some way.
One way to do it easy is playing an old Call of Duty and then just playing Ground War, because there's like nobody playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if y'all had Battlefield and we just go bam, hit a server up.
Yeah, Battlefield, you can get like 64 motherfuckers at the same time.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Or Daisy. Daisy would be fun too.
Dude, seriously, man, I'm going to get a PlayStation 4, but they need to make mouse and keyboard support for the PlayStation 4.
It's coming. It's
Get
coming.
the Zim, it will give you enough control.
Well, look at it this way: when the Patreon launches, you don't have money, we'll buy a Battlefield server just for the Patreon.
Yeah.
And I got the H1Z1 server too, so we can
Make them
figure something
private.
out.
We're gonna buy a Daisy server. It's gonna be on.
Yeah, so for the H1Z1 server, there's 10,000 codes that they gave me, and you need a code to join the server. So, the judge, love the show, guys. Keep up the good work. Time stamps for each topic would be cool to have. Just a suggestion, though.
That's so tough.
That's a lot of work. Like, Wings dropped from the call twice, and I have to like go back and edit a little bit, and that's just a little bit of work. That's easy, but if someone wants to do it as a fan, if they're listening, just leave a comment. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little tedious, but like I think we kind of stayed on topic. Then we switched, and we did a good job on today's show. So if someone wants to do that, it's probably a little late.
Yeah.
But for next week.
People really like Black Ops news, and when we were talking about Black Ops 3 news, somebody was like, why don't you timestamp where they start? And then somebody was like, oh, Black Ops, 1 minute and 15 seconds. That's when they started. Like, do stuff like that. Like, if something's interesting to you, just timestamp it. Bam.
All right,
Yeah.
me. I watched every episode of the show so far, and I love them all. I enjoy them all. My question is, do you think Treyarch will ever make a World at War 2? Keep up the great podcast. I'm going to answer this, and I think it's going to be no, just because we were talking about earlier the universes. What game were we talking about with the universe?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. That's a series. That's like a staple. World at War. No one knows about World at War besides like the hardcore Call of Duty fans. Like, it would have to be Black Ops 4. I'm assuming if they ever go back. Because like,
just something else.
would they ever make a? What's an example? I was gonna say Tony. I don't know. Never mind. Fuck that example. All right. Rat Packer 301. What is your opinion on his or her brain hasn't fully developed yet as a form of defense for minors doing illegal things? Enjoy the show. Keep up the good work.
What? What?
So someone's not an adult because their brain hasn't fully developed, so they're not capable of true independence and responsibility when it comes to being tried for crimes or things like that.
I'm not an adult either.
Yeah.
I think that
What?
at a certain extent, like when you're like 12 and 13, you do some stupid shit. Like you hear that story about the Slender Girls where they stabbed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Their friend, yeah.
There's two girls. They went into a forest. They brought this other girl, and apparently Slender told them to kill this other girl and stab her. Like, you got to know that you're doing something wrong, but if you're doing it because Slender tells you,
What if White Boy told him? White Boy played a lot of Slender Man.
I was thinking about that. Like, what if one of these chicks watched one of my videos and I started like the Slender?
The Slender cult.
Yeah.
I think your degree of responsibility is so far removed from the incident you couldn't possibly feel guilty about it. Like the truth is that the younger you are, you do have less developed reasoning faculty. That is definitely provable. But that's why we try people as minors and not adults.
I think to a certain extent, like.
Yeah.
But you can't be like 17 and trying to do something just to get away with. I think they charge a lot of people that are 17 as adults, but don't try to like get away with something just because you're younger. And I don't know. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. All right, Flappy Bro. Can you make Eddie say the deployment? What's he say? Mixtape ready for deployment and jive smoke weed every day.
Do you want to go first, Jive, or do you want me to go first?
Smoke weed every day.
Mixtape ready for deployment.
And then you pull out this annoying ass fucking, what was that? It was some shit, you go like this, and it take like
it's like a
5
phone.
seconds and you get killed.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 is just like kill streak, kill streak. Infinity Ward games are like, let me get out this sunlight phone. Click. Let me put it back again.
Clickety click.
Yeah.
All right, one last one. From Road to Clean Room. He says, my girlfriend broke up with me, and the show gives me something to keep off my mind off it. Great show, keep them coming. Also, Wings, what's your opinion on two-wheel drive trucks?
They're really very poorly aerodynamic cars.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
If you have a truck, you have a four-wheel drive truck. There's no point in going two-wheel drive. I guess there is. I mean, if you're just, doing shit in your yard and like just want to pull a trailer, I don't know. Get a four-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel drive sucks.
I was hoping there was
awesome, dude.
Oh, just rear and that's it on a truck. That's it.
Two-wheel drive, yeah. All trucks are rear-wheel drive.
All of them, yeah, but I'm just saying only rear.
Yeah.
On anything, basically.
Well, like sports cars, like Camaro, they're only rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, they fucking.
That's why they can't turn properly. That's why European sports cars are much better. Sorry, but.
Well, there's pros and cons to everything. Like when you have a front-wheel drive car, the front-wheel drives are designed to put the power to the ground and turn at the same time, which can really be detrimental to the tires.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 hours, 37 minutes in. Thank you for watching this episode of the podcast show. Be sure to give us a like rating on YouTube. Subscribe to our channels. I think Jives will be linked properly down below.
It will.
I hope so.
It will.
It better be.
Better motherfucking be.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye, guys.